And we should be live. I'm assuming we're live. If people in the chat want to confirm that they can hear us and we're live, because every time I don't do a check like this, it always backfires, and it's been a few months, so there's a good chance that Windows Update has taken away something, and yeah, it looks like we're live. Okay, fantastic. Hello, everybody. We're just gonna preamble and chat a little bit while people filter in. We haven't done a stream in a few months, so how's everybody doing? How have you guys been? I'm asking you guys, Eduardo and Luis and Regak. How are you guys?
Yeah,
how have you guys been?
Yeah, it's been nice. This starting of the year has been fun. A lot of personal stuff, but it's been great. These new books have been keeping us very busy.
Yeah,
with a lot of stuff, and I have some holidays, some vacation, so I can dedicate myself to painting and playing a lot.
So I'm so jealous.
Yes, 2 weeks, 2 weeks for me.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the books we've gotten this year have been crazy, huh? Like starting strong with Nurgle, and then going into Lumineth and Tzeentch, and now we've got Daughters and Sylvaneth. Like, this is a really rapid pace, and I think maybe it's because they want to start working on 5th edition. I don't know if you guys have heard what's going on in 5th edition yet. Yeah, if it's even 5th edition, maybe it's not even considered 5th edition. Maybe it's considered a new 1st edition. Maybe we'll see.
The new old world.
Crazy news. Yeah. Yes, but it has been a really good, as you have said, since the Nurgle release has been a really crazy race, and the battle tomes, also the people waiting for the Battlescroll. That was delayed a couple of weeks, but finally we have a good release. I think it's good.
Yeah, that they are keeping up with the good books so far. So let's hope that they keep going like this with the new ones.
Mm.
And Stormcast seems pretty strong for me.
Yeah, we'll talk about that soon.
One book.
Yep.
Our book is lasting better than it normally has at this time. The power creep hasn't been as intense in previous editions, and the Stormcast book came out about as strong as you could hope for, really. Like, we got a lot of great tools this time around, but we'll see. I mean, there's still a few books left, right? Like, Dwarden haven't gotten a book yet. We still need Ogres and Cities. Slaanesh. Seraphon's going to be a big one, I think, because they have been paying a lot of attention to the index, right? They've made erratas, they've made tons and tons of point changes. I think it's like every Battlescroll Stegodons have gone down in points. They want Stegodons to be good, but they just aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The most interesting is that since finally Games Workshop is keeping the same level in the Battle Tomes rules, and it's the first Battlescroll that I am seeing that is not devolving the upper part of the win rate, and is supporting the lower factions. So this is something that I consider is good.
I would have liked to see Nurgle nerfs. That would have been good. I was not expecting any green when I opened up the Nurgle pages. That was very surprising.
Yeah, just a little bit of points increase into the infantry. That's all that they need.
Yeah, like 10 points on each infantry unit would have been huge.
Yeah, 210 wounds on a list of Nurgle. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
All with a 5 wound save and -1 to wound and all that stuff.
Well, they're not dominating the game. Like, they're not winning every event right now, so they don't need huge nerfs.
No. Because they lose at certain matchups and certain maps, but it's still a little bit too overpowered in some other matches.
I think it's because the whole meta is shaped by them. Everyone is thinking about, how do I beat Nurgle? So everyone is bringing tools to beat Nurgle. Like, we were already teching into Desolators before this Battlescroll happened, so things like that. Like, armies are considering, well, what happens if I face Nurgle? Because one of your 5 games will probably be against Nurgle at a GT.
Yeah, honestly, the ward reduction, it's made not that big of a deal if it wasn't Nurgle. around.
Mhm.
You could
That's
you could
true,
think
yeah.
of something else, but now with Norgol on the map, you need to bring the Knight Relictor.
Yeah, for sure. He's S tier for a reason. Yeah.
I really wish that ward reduction was a prayer. I would like to run some of our other priests, but man.
No, if it was a prayer, you'd never use the Knight Relictor for anything. Right? He would be completely useless. And if it was a prayer, that would mean you couldn't. It would probably require visibility, and it would compete with translocate. So it would actually make us run 2 priests, because then we'd have 1 for the ward reduction and then 1 for the translocate, because we always need that. I think it's fine.
I don't know. Maybe something. I don't know. Maybe something different. I just like. I hate like having like. I kind of want to run the Lord Veritant and Lord Relictor, but it's like, man, there's just no reason to do so while you need ward hate so badly.
Relictor's not great, but I have been making some double priest lists lately, because I thought about using Ionis, and then I realized he's still too expensive at 360 for what I want him to do. And I ended up with a Knight Relictor Lord Veritant list that I actually really like, because one of them can always be banking for Blessed Weapons, and the other one is banking for Translocate in the enemy turn. So that seems pretty good. And then the Veritant just has inherent utility with the -1 cast Chant Aura, which is actually, now that we've got like Lumineth and Tzeentch in the game, -1 cast actually does make a big deal. Not so much against Tzeentch, because they just push through it with fate points.
12. Yeah, and it's 12 inches of range. So
It's not-
if you're that close, you're dying.
It's not great, but it's better than doing literally nothing else like the Knight Relictor does.
Yeah, and you can keep the Knight Relictor in
Yeah.
the sky and bank points with the other priest until you get him down on the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like having a priest on the table is useful. It's like little things. It's not great. It's not like
I get it. I did that with Iridan. I would just bank points with Iridan.
Yeah,
And, while having the Relictor in the sky.
If you have leader, then yes.
yeah. We've got options. Our priests are probably in a better spot than a lot of some of our other units. Some of our other heroes, especially, are in a real bad spot.
They are better than on our wizards.
Yeah. Before we talk Battlescroll, I just want to quickly go over the new battle tomes, like Tzeentch, Lumineth, Sylvaneth, and Daughters of Cain, because we've put out reviews for Lumineth and Tzeentch, so if you guys have watched those, you know our thoughts on those armies. But what do you guys think about Sylvaneth and Daughters of Cain? Like, what's your first impression of each book? Because we have the leaks, we have the points, so everything should be public at this point.
They're bangers.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like
Both
the daughters. I think it's a little bit stronger than the index, but it will be very similar in the way that you have to get a lot of buffs and stuff to send your cannon and break the opponent, which is it is not always a very easy play. But it's nice. I like it. It has depth. You can shift into different stuff. You can play different stuff. Weird that the witch elves and the sisters are mostly the same.
Witch elves are just useless now.
Yeah.
They're actually
Yeah,
just a
Blood
worthless
Hags, yeah.
unit.
Yeah, Blood Hags are
Yeah.
just better than everybody.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
sisters
they
are
have
cheaper and have the
yeah,
-1/-1.
the same amount of attacks. That's a little bit weird. And the new unit seems pretty decent. I thought that they were going to be saving non-force, but I don't know. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Oh, Titanic in the chat says Snarlpack is strike first. That's only Spearhead. Okay, good to know. We've had less than 12 hours to digest it.
Oh yeah, that's one of my complaints. That's one of my complaints about this, because I had the same trouble with Nighthaunt.
There we go.
They just mixed the spearhead changes with the other changes in the same.
They really should have a separate document for Spearhead.
It confused me.
Yeah.
I thought that they were going to nerf Nighthaunt, and I was like, what?
But,
Yeah, it makes
no,
sense if you understand it. Like, there's a heading, but sometimes like it spills over into the next paragraph, and then it's kind of not so obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to the elf books, like Lumineth, Sylvaneth, and DOK, they're all great books. The one thing I'm noticing is like what Eduardo just said. It's lots of depth, but what I really like is they're very high skill ceiling, all of them. Like, this is not a book for newbies.
Yeah.
None of these are books for newbies. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've noticed that. There's a lot of layering of movement, of buffs, of auras, of spells, knowing which heroes to take. Like, your skill expression starts, like, I would say for most all armies it would start in the list building phase, but especially for these armies it starts in the list building phase. You could it's very easy to make a bad army. when you
Yeah.
play these armies.
I would agree. They're not as difficult as something like Tzeentch. I think Tzeentch is the most complicated army they've ever made. Well, maybe less complicated now that you can't fold into range to cast transform and then smoke the transform spawn so that you lock enemies in combat, and then you use your second spell on the Curse Link to cast a Tome of Ice to lock a second unit in combat. Like, now that that's all gone, it's a less complicated army, but it's still probably the most complicated army.
Yeah, I had a match against Tzeentch the last tournament that we had, and I was like, "Oh my god, how well? I know that I read it already. I should know the rules. How is it again?" It was horrible.
It's complicated enough for me as the opponent to understand. Like, I don't know what he's been trying to do.
It reminds me of first and second edition Seraphon, which was like a legit 300 IQ army to play it properly. It was super satisfying. Nobody believed me when I told them the rules. It's like, wait, you get full rerolls on hit, wound, save. You get to reroll casting. You get to summon any unit you want. How is this an army? How is this real?
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time.
I look at their buffs. It's like with the Lumineth runes. It's like they have to choose. Like, how do I layer my defensive buffs for this turn? How do I switch into offense next turn? If I get this blessing and this 3-up roll and this prayer, how do I... Layering it all is going to be really, really tough for them.
Yeah, Margonk, move your mic a little bit closer. People are saying you're quiet.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully that's better. So I hate the Daughters of Cain Battle Tome. I think it's really boring, and it's probably... They've done a lot of really good things with it, right? Like, the Blood Hags are cool and interesting, but they're not spammable, which is great. That's exactly where you want a new unit to be. And they finally killed Morathi in that army. Like, she's no longer the only thing that you should play in every list forever. She still does something that's unique and cool, but it doesn't break like fundamental rules of the game. So I think that's all great.
It's a hero phase.
Yeah, moving at every point in the game, like normal move, no limits on how many times you can use normal move. Really cool. But sorry, one more good thing. It's a buff stacking army, and it always has been, and they've made the buffs pretty reliable. They're still not 100% reliable, but like, you could reroll prayers, you can get +2 casting pretty easily, sometimes +3. There's lots of ways to make it more reliable, and it feels really good when you get those buffs off. So that core of the army is still intact, which is good, because that's always been part of the identity of Daughters of Cain. But the rest of the book is just like, because there's so few units to choose from, and so many of the units just do the same thing, it's either you have a Witch Elf type unit, which is lots of models, lots of attacks, high volume, needs buffs, right? That's one type of unit. Snakes are the same kind of unit. Sisters of Slaughter are the same kind of unit. Blood Hags are the same kind of unit. All of these units can do that. Or you have your screening units, which are Chimerae, the other Chimerae, Shadow Stalkers, or you have Cauldrons. And like, you don't run Cauldrons and Morathi together. They're too expensive, right? Because the Cauldrons buff each other, so they kind of need each other. So it's either you're playing Morathi or you're playing Cauldrons. So like, every list is just going to be the same. Like, functionally, the units are almost identical. It's like an entire book made of just, how would we put this? You either get to pick Liberators or Vanquishers. That's your whole book.
Yes.
It's really boring.
I will agree. Because all of their hammers are essentially just infantry, they can choose between 20 blocks of infantry or 10 blocks of infantry. It would have been far more interesting to see like a 6 block coming from DOK. Something like Zangor Enlighten on the discs or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, whatever the equivalent of that is in DOK.
Yeah, they really need another.
But in this case, it's true. The options in each battle tome also depends on the quantity of the and quality of the cards. That's true. And but the rules of the core of each battle tome, in this case of Doctor Kane, to me doesn't makes really boring or flat. To me, it's really good. It's strong. To be honest, is stronger than I was thinking at the beginning.
Oh, it's going to be strong for sure. It's going to be. Yeah. I think it's going to be stronger than Sylvaneth for sure. Like, Daughters of Cain look like really good. Like, I think they look better than Lumineth, and Lumineth people were saying was pretty good, and I was kind of, they're okay, right? They're fine. They're not busted. Daughters, I think, looks really good. There's a lot of power in that book, but the rules are just kind of boring. Yeah, and every list will feel the same.
Rob just said they're like Night Hunt, but offensive instead of defensive.
Yeah, they'll spam the most efficient unit every time. There's no reason to do anything else. Like, why play snakes over blood hags? It's like, well, you play both, right? You run, but like, there's no hooks, there's no incentives to build one way or the other in that book.
Only the points. Yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, it's the points. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because they mostly do the same.
Yeah. So I really dislike that.
I will say there is Dale. There's a Canadian player, I think Dale. He runs Avatars of Cain. Like he loves bringing
Yeah,
lots.
not anymore.
So I mean, you can't even do that anymore. So.
And that's a
He has
great
a lot of
idea.
cauldrons as well.
I'm glad they made that change because they looked at the model kit and they're like, well, it sucks to buy a cauldron for every Avatar of Cain you want to play, right? And because and the Avatar of Cain has to be like you're replacing the cauldron out of the cauldron. You're building Bloodrack shrines and Avatars of Cain, so you're buying a start collecting just to get an Avatar of Cain, which sucks. I wish they'd do that for things like Aether Wings. Like Aether Wings should either be a token with long strikes, or they should be like a summoned unit that comes into play when the long strikes come into play. Having them as separate units is just a waste of space in the battle tome at this point.
Yeah. I have mines over there just waiting to see if I can use them for kit bashes and other stuff.
And then the Sylvaneth book, I think the Sylvaneth book is great. It's good, but it's not like as powerful as the Daughters of Cain one. But it's a lot more interesting. There's a lot more different builds you can do with it. Alariel is fantastic, but not necessary, which is exactly where you want a god model to be. Like Marathi's probably still an auto include. She seems really, really good. Alariel doesn't have that problem. She's like a good unit you can use, but you can skip her too. Kind of like Usharan in 3rd edition. You didn't have to use him. He was good though. I can't think of any like truly bad unit in the Sylvaneth book. Every single unit seems to have a purpose and a niche, and maybe it's like a few points. Tree Lords. Tree Lords are complete garbage. There's no reason to ever use regular Tree Lords. It's like 15 max damage or something. It's just so bad. I've never seen. That's the weakest monster in the game.
I'm okay with that. Like Sylvaneth players have generally suffered from having a pretty bad book for 3 editions, I would say. Like their book has never been good. It's always been either really frustrating or based around their terrain, or their internal balance has been crap.
Yeah.
Tree Lords might be not that good, but this is a book with cracking internal balance, lots of movement, lots of really cool tools.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to buy 9 woods to play this army anymore, which was, believe it or not, keeping a lot of people off this army.
Yeah, max 3. That's nice.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love the models, but I'm not gonna buy 3 woods for 2.
Yeah, 3 sets of wild wood.
Yeah.
Like,
just to transport them, store them. No.
Yeah. Yes, I've been playing lately Sylvaneth during the last months, and has been a headache transporting the sets. But beyond that, going back to the battle tome, to me is good. Has a good mechanics, but unfortunately is not the battle tome that I was expecting in power. I mean, it's not about the same synergy that we had before. It's completely different.
Yeah.
And the game style is another one. So
yeah, I have concerns that Sylvaneth is coming out a little too weak. Like I think they could probably get a few point cuts in the GHB. We'll see what comes out in the next GHB. But they have some really, really good units. Like Spite Rider Lancers are one of the best units in the game. Kernauts with sides are one of the best units in the game. And
imagine having Grandhammers having Quicksilver Draft.
Yeah, imagine if Grandhammers could spend a command point to use Quicksilver Draft every turn. There's no once per game limit. It's insane how good that is. They're fantastic. What else is really good? Spite Revenants, Teleporting Chaff. Fantastic. I love it. They also have Gossamids, which are fast chaff, fast flying shooting chaff, which like that doesn't sound good because you want them to be a hammer unit, but when you compare them to more like something like Vigilors and they come out pretty favorably, that's a really good unit. They're 20 points cheaper, 12-inch flying move. I'd love that for Vigilors. That'd be amazing.
Isn't there a Gossamer Regiment of Renown? Or am I?
Yes.
Like from
yes.
or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it does. Yeah. I haven't looked at it in a while.
Yeah. It's the Revenants. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Arch Revenant and 5 Gossamids. Yeah.
Yeah. Even with the Arch Revenant, double tapping Gossamids is just not worth it at all.
No. To be honest, also the Regiment of Renown sounds funny, but that's it. Not efficient.
The Branch Witch one is kind of interesting. Not this season. So the Branch Witch has an ability where you get to pick a unit in your territory, and you get +1 to wound and melee against that unit on a 3-up. And she's a 1-cast wizard, so like that's kind of interesting to have like a Finest Hour on a 3-up, and you can choose. You can, I think it's in the hero phase, so you can roll that before you use Finest Hour. So you can maybe hold on to a resource or something. And she's a 1-cast wizard, and it comes with a screen. So like that's kind of interesting. But this season, there's a lot of battle plans where your territory is like the small strip on the bottom of the board that your opponent never gets to.
Yeah,
so
the Dawn of War deployment kills that.
Yeah. Once we get back to
Also,
Hammer and Anvil deployment, then we'll be fine with that one.
Also,
Do we think the Drycha one is in play?
I like.
No, hold on. Sorry, Lewis. Go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Drycha of this battle tome has a good instant instinct ability just to be teleported during the charge. I think it's interesting. The problem is how we can get off from after your fight, the combat phase, how you are unstuck into Drycha because she will stay and die. So this is the problem that now the players of Sylvanet will be thinking and trying to figure it out, how to solve it.
Yeah, people are going to use Drycha and think she's like Light of Eltharion. She's not anywhere as good as Light of Eltharion. She's weaker. She's more fragile. Her teleport can fail because it has to be wholly within the overgrown range and then within half an inch of an enemy, and her base is big enough that like on Snake Eyes it just fails. So right away there's a failure chance built into it, and there's no reroll available. I'm pretty sure it's not a. Is it a charge roll? You might be able to reroll. I should look that up before I say.
It is a charge ability.
It's a charge ability, but is a charge roll. I don't think it's a charge roll, right? So you might not be able to reroll it.
Make a charge roll. No, it says make a charge roll.
Oh, okay. So you might be able to reroll that with a command point.
Yep.
But yeah, she just doesn't do enough once she actually gets in there, which is unfortunate. So as for hers in an ROR, I don't think so. Like, her spell is interesting in Sylvaneth because you get the basically table wide with the overgrown. I don't think the ROR is worth using at all.
Yeah, no. I don't think so. But unfortunately for her, is still active the Soggy profile, so
Soggy one's still great. Yep. Yeah, she has a +1 attack buff, which is fantastic on Tree Revenants. It's so good on Tree Revenants.
And also +1 to wounds, and also that's applying to the Montings, so that's good.
Yep. Yeah, it's good on Spite Riders for sure. Okay, let's move into the main topic of today.
The Battlescroll.
We're going to talk about the Battlescroll that dropped 14 hours ago. So we might get some things wrong here, right? We all work. This is a hobby, so apologies if we get any kind of mistakes here. Big picture, what do you guys think? I'm pretty excited personally. I'm very interested in playing Stormcast now that there's a lot more options, it feels like.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm excited about the options. I don't think the top players got nerfed enough. I feel like they mostly, like Nurgle getting away with murder. Siege and Luminet's still strong. I think FEC Terra Guy's still at 230. Like what?
Should have gone up. I agree. In 3 months, when Obscuring goes away, I think Terrorgeists are going to be extinct. They're not going to be spammed anymore because people will bring shooting again, and shooting just kills feck monsters. They're so weak to shooting, it's unreal.
True. They did make the Iron Ball cannons reinforceable, so
What's reinforceable?
I think the Cities of Sigmar cannons or something.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe I read that wrong. Yeah.
That sounds like an April Fool's prank. That sounds like an April Fool's prank we would write.
yeah. Let me check. Double check this.
Yeah.
Did I get got?
You got misinformation.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. That would be a weird change to make. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe it got reinforcements keyword in Spearhead. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. Because I know the Hellsmiths, their big demon engine can be revived in Spearhead now. It's really stupid. 2-up save and it can just come back to life. Ugh.
Command Corps cannot be reinforced.
All right. So rule changes. There weren't that many. Mostly Spearhead stuff. The only changes I looked through the document, and the ones worth talking about, auxiliary units are finally nerfed. I think we talked about this when 4th edition came out. We were like, yeah, people are going to find something worth spamming, and they're going to spam it, and they don't care that their opponent gets 1 command point. It's not a big deal. Because frequently you'll play against someone and they'll be the underdog, and you're already basically playing with a CP disadvantage, so it's really not a big deal. Yeah, so Ox units cost 0 for the first one, plus 20 for the next one, and then plus 40, and then plus 60, and so on. So the days of spamming Deathmasters, or spamming Lord of Blights, or spamming Spawn of Chotex. Well, the Spawn of Chotex spam is not dead. It's just, it just needs a hero to lead them, because it's not like you're spamming heroes, right?
They are not going to bring 20, but they are going to bring 15 and other stuff.
They'll bring 15 in heroes, instead of bringing 20.
Sure.
Which is functionally the same. There's not really different.
Yeah, if people want to go buy all of that spawns of Chotek, go ahead.
Baleful Lords got nerfed. The Khorne AOR, which everybody plays because that's how people want to play Khorne. They want to use 5 big Bloodthirsters and smash things on the table. Well, it got nerfed because Games Workshop doesn't want the AORs to be the best way to play the army, or even the most popular way, it would seem. Even if it's not the best, they still don't want it to be that popular. So you can't revive Scarbrand anymore. That's a big one. The revive happens on a table edge instead of anywhere on the battlefield. And the reaction, the spell reaction, is now once per turn army. So these are pretty significant nerfs. It's not going to stop people from playing this army of renown, because people want to play Bloodthirsters. That's what they want to do. And they're going to keep doing it as long as it's legal.
Funny story about this. I have a match against this AOR this Sunday.
Yeah.
My tech list, they AOR. So this came too late for me.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Tzeentch got some errata, some good, some bad. It can now use Fold Reality from, like, you can place the unit from an Argent Shard, which is a pretty big deal. You weren't able to do that before. And now, but you can't use Smoke and Mirrors on a unit that was set up in that turn. So the unit that you're going to pull into reserve so you can replace it with another one, you can't do that if that unit was set up. So you can't do Fold into Smoke anymore. You can't do Transform to Spawn into Smoke anymore. You can't, there's a lot of combos that just don't work anymore, which is good. It really reduces the cognitive load playing this army and playing against it. I would rather they balance the army with this in mind than the previous one, because it would have been... It's really hard to figure out what point value is correct for Tzeentch when they have the smoke thing, right? Like, it's the stronger the abilities get, which you can't apply point values to, the weaker the units have to get, so they have to get more expensive. So if Tzeentch ended up being overpowered, you'd have, like, I don't know, 300 point Zangors, because Smoke and Mirrors is so powerful. It's the only way to balance it. Something stupid like that would have to happen.
5 units the whole army. Yeah.
Mm. And Dark Oath, they got a lot of Horde stuff. Their sub-faction gives them a guaranteed revive instead of it being a 3-up dice roll, which is great, but it costs 1 CP, which is fine. That's how every revive ability in the game should have been, and now I think they are. I think that's it. That's every single one, right? There isn't any more dice roll revive abilities anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Are people going to play Dark Oath? No. Nobody's going to play Dark Oath, because nobody wants to paint Dark Oath models. Because the people who are interested in Dark Oath are playing the old world, where they have cool-looking Marauders, and the people playing Slaves to Darkness want to play Chosen and Varangard and Bellicor and Archaon. That's all they want to do. So
yeah, but this will please like the 3 people that are playing them. So it's
there are dozens of us.
There's 3 that I've seen.
Dozens. Worldwide.
Yeah, it's
worldwide 3. There's 3 people.
People don't want to push around naked barbarian hordes. Like, that's just not an appealing playstyle for most people. Like, if you want that playstyle, there's so many different armies that have a better aesthetic for it, right? Skaven, it makes more sense to push around hordes of disposable rats. Even Tzeentch pushing around Zangors and blobs of horrors. There's just so many armies where that fits, and it just doesn't fit in Slaves to Darkness, which are all about worshipping gods and buffing up your dudes and then killing people. There shouldn't be a recursion army.
I think it's also like an aesthetic thing. When you slay Slaves to Darkness, like you see the Chaos Chosen or Warriors, they look like they've been buffed by Chaos, right? They look like the equivalent of Stormcast Eternals. There's nothing about the Dark Oath that says they worship Chaos outside of the 8-pointed sigil on their like banners or whatever. What they need is, like, I hate to say this, but 40k has these things like Possessed, where people have like claws, like regular humans with like claws instead of hands or something. We never see the gifts of chaos bestowed on them at all. They're just dudes, muscular dudes. Like, it's like Conan the Barbarian, the army.
Yeah, and that doesn't really scream chaos, does it?
Yeah, no, not really.
It could be like neutral, It's not order, it's not
Yeah.
chaos, but it's not. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Doesn't belong into this.
It's like, it reminds me of, weirdly enough, like Iron Warriors. You know, like Iron Warriors in 40k, it's like they're not like strictly chaos. The only thing that's marking them chaos is like the Defiler, but
Mhm.
there's nothing about the Dark Code that screams chaos to me. Maybe they need more beasts, or like a beast, like a chaos beast they're riding or something, instead of, because they're riding regular horses, right? They're not even riding like chaos horses.
They should take the Dark Oath out of Slaves to Darkness and put them in as like chaff or Beasts of Chaos. And then Beasts of Chaos should be like Minotaurs and monsters and stuff. And then the Dark Oath should be like the guys who are trying to transform into the Beasts of Chaos.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Because that actually fits. Like, if you look at the Wilder guy that they have, like the big monster dude, they look like they just want to get mutated into chaos, not necessarily follow any particular god.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's... did you guys see any other rule changes that I didn't put on here? No?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, I would say like Destruction got some good stuff. Like, actually,
yeah.
I would say it's a good change, but they got some good spells and like, you know, like crit 2 hits and stuff like that.
Yeah, Ironjaw's, their buffs last until their next turn instead of the next turn, which is...
Yeah.
How often does it matter that you have crit 2 hits in the enemy turn? It's nice to have, but it's not crucial, I don't think.
Well, they added some stuff like the manifestations from Lumineth and OBR that you could set up in combat.
Yeah, that I'm glad that's gone. Definitely an oversight. They added a movement characteristic and forgot to change the manifestation lore. Guarantee that's what happened.
And weird enough, they didn't answer the question about Warhost of Duality and Strike First with Lyrior.
I sent that in.
Yeah, me too. I sent the question. They didn't answer it. So
how do the TOs in your area rule it?
You can use it. Same as Quicksilver Drop, which I see arguments for both sides, and I am not sure, honestly. I wish that they could answer that question.
Yeah, maybe in the next one. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's not niche either, because Lyrior is good and he's very expensive, so if that combo works, you want it to work, right? Because you're paying a lot of points for him.
At 150 saddle.
Yeah. I don't think it works personally, but that's just me.
Him striking first, it's mostly relevant. He doesn't do that much damage.
It's usually better just to cast the Sanctum around him than it is to give him Strike First. Like, if you're going to Magical Intervention a spell, you should just do Sanctum instead of Strike First.
Yeah, his ability to give the Strength rune is very good. I think that's better.
Yep.
And he can bring anything, which is a problem in Lumineth. But yeah, 250, they might have had in mind, that he can bring another unit.
Maybe they just overcosted him, like Bastion at 270 started the edition.
Yeah, the heroes are a little bit expensive anyway.
Yeah. All right, so I've got big losers, big winners. There's not that many big losers. There should have been, right? There should have been more big losers, but there really weren't. Flesh Eaters, you could even argue, isn't that big. I think it's pretty big. Losing 100 points in a list is very significant. That's the kind of thing that takes an army from overpowered to like too weak, maybe. Not Feck in this case. I think Feck's not going to be too weak, but 100 points is a lot.
They can shift around it. They can shift around it for sure.
Yeah.
Like here, actually, this is I can't show it to you, but the list is like literally like after the changes, it's like same thing. You take the Royal Zombie Dragon and the Royal Terrorgeist. You don't bring the chair dude. You just actually no, you can't. You can't bring a Crypt Hunter Courtier, but you have a Royal Zombie Dragon. You have 3 Terrorgeists, and you bring a Royal Beast Flares. So ultimately, all that happened was they switched out 1 Royal Zombie Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, because if you fought those kinds of lists, those 2-drop lists, they never even end up using all of their dragons.
Yeah.
The idea is the 6th dragon only comes in play if like things have gone horribly wrong and they're losing. But most of the time, like when I played them, that last dragon didn't even come into play really. Like they won the game just off of the ones they had. Like the other 5 or 6 or whatever.
I think there's a critical mass. They might still be at it, but I do like they're not trying to gut Flesh Eater Course. They're trying to reduce them from like 55 to 53. It's that kind of thing. They're trying to take a light touch to not, obliterate the army.
I agree with that. Like, I don't think they should obliterate it, but like the bare minimum they could have done was something like +10 on the Terrorgeist, because that's the problematic unit. That's the one.
I agree.
Sixes with the X-ray.
I agree. When people are bringing more than 4 of a unit in a list, you should nerf it. the points should go up.
Yeah, and then you just change the regiment option, so you can only bring 2 monsters in a regiment with the Abhorrent Ghoul King and the Abhorrent Zombie Dragon. So they have to go 3-drop.
Yeah, that'd probably be fine. That way they can't fish for doubles at least.
Yes, so they're 2-drop competing with like all the top lists in the meta. That's what.
Yeah. If they get doubled, it's pretty much over. They don't have the recursion or durability with that list.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if they're going to get rid of the double turn next edition.
Come on, no.
The guy who the guy who kept it in the game is not doing it anymore. He's not working on it. He's gone.
I don't know. It's such a fundamental thing about Age of Sigmar because people like the variance of it. Like 40k is like, if you pull out on a graph, the variance is very like
Sure.
back and forth.
But there's other ways to do variance. And there's, for every person that likes the double turn, I don't have any data to support this, but I swear there's like 5 people who hate it and won't play Age of Sigmar because of it. It's like one of the major complaints people had about it, the game, ever since first edition. And they fixed, like, they've been going on a crusade to fix every single complaint people have had with first edition Age of Sigmar. The setting and the lore is like a huge one, and they're fixing that soon. I hate it, but it's fixing,
Let's hope that.
I mean, the thing
double
is,
turn.
I don't know how you can ever have units like Severeth or something if you don't have the double turn in this game. Like, there are units that just move so far that if you just go you go, I go, you can pretty much always be guaranteed to be safe with some of the movements these units have. Or like, we have a lot more teleports than 40k does, for instance. I think we're talking about a complete indexing, ground up design of the game and different war skills.
Yeah.
It will shift a lot of stuff. They cannot change it just like that.
What if I told you that the world is going to explode and that it's the perfect time to do exactly that level of change to the game?
I don't know. I don't think that they're gonna go too far away from the ground rules or the core rules that they have been doing for this edition. I think that was like the most important thing that they worked on, and that is why the indexes were so lack of.
I think the rule formatting is gonna stay. Like, they're gonna keep the same like ability blocks and war scroll templates and all that stuff. Like, that's gonna stay the same. But there's nothing saying they can't read. Like, the double turn is a balancing thing. It's not a rule thing, right?
I don't think it's going to be an index edition. I think it'll just be 4.5, and I think we'll go the way of 40k where we'll stop fighting on circles because you saw that God's thing, right, in the room.
Thank God. The objectives look so ugly, man. I've been saying this for years now that they play so well, but they look like shit. And I'm not playing this game because it's the most best designed game ever. It's a good enough game. I want it to look cool, and I want to roll dice with my friends. That's why I play this game. And if it stops looking cool, and all I have left is rolling dice with friends, that's not enough for me, So I need the game to look good. It has to be a good-looking game. And objectives are ugly.
A lot of terrain rules, because we don't have enough terrain.
Well, what if I told you that the world is exploding?
There will be a lot of debris in the tables for you to fight over.
Rob is like, Rob says like, toss 5 more tactics on the pile and give us more mission variety. I mean, that's the GHV for you. That's like literally coming in 2 months.
Oh, what do you guys think about 40k getting grand strategies? Faction only grand strategies.
No, not again.
It's perfect.
Did we do that already?
No, we had universal ones with faction-based ones, and nobody used the faction-based ones because they were all garbage on purpose, except for Daughters of Cain. I don't know. The grand strategies? No, everybody used universal grand strats. We had not High Priest, the one where you have to keep your Locust General alive. That we use that all the time.
Well, I know Tzeentch used their own one.
Just Tzeentch. The Tzeentch was guaranteed. It was free 3 victory points, right? That's not a good example. But yeah, 40k is getting grand strategies. I think they're coming back for AOS too. They were a good system. It makes sense, right?
Let's talk about the.
Yeah, okay. We'll talk about that another time. So yeah, Flesh Eaters not nerfed enough.
It's a good.
Yeah, Nurgle not nerfed enough.
Definitely, but Tzeentch kind of a mixed bag. I think it's overall a nerf, but we'll see. Being able to fold reality from an Urgent Shard is a big deal. Because, I mean, it requires a lot of setup, and you give your opponent time to respond because you have teleport in the movement phase. So, like, especially if shooting is a thing in the game, they can just shoot your shards that you're trying to set up so you can drop units behind them. So we'll see. And then,
Oh wait.
Yep.
Wait. We forgot to talk. The biggest nerf. You don't have that infinite fate point generation engine anymore, where you're just unbinding your own spells. Even
well,
if you didn't cast them.
wasn't infinite. That was 1 fate point per turn.
Sure, but
Yeah.
now the spell actually has to be cast and not be unbound. You can't just
Yeah.
like, roll immediately after.
It was cool. It was cool that Tzeentch was just chucking spells into the air and hoping to unbind their own spells to get fate points. Now you have to actually successfully cast them. It's ridiculous. What's the point? Sucks. Okay, big winners. Cities. Didn't want to see cities on this list. Soggy Cavaliers shouldn't be 150 points.
Oh god. Yeah.
You just know every cities player is just going to start spamming them. But I guess with all the -1 wound, maybe Cavaliers can't do enough damage. There's a lot of -1 wound in the game.
Faction literally gives them +1 to wound. Like both Thalia and their main subfaction that they use, which is Exemplars or something, is +1 to wound. So they don't even care.
Well, they're wounding on 4s normally, so they'll go back to 4s. Tzeentch actually has -2 wound. You could stack it up to give him -1 overall.
Thing is, with the amount of volume they get, because what they can do is +1 to wound from their battle formation, and then their marshal, I believe, with the order can give them +1 attack. Like they don't care. They're just volume and 30 wounds on a 3-up save. It's very hard to get rid of that. Like for a lot of armies, you know.
I can't believe they're allowed to be 150. That's so crazy. They're such a strong unit.
I don't even know why. Like all the obviously it's not as popular army when it was when like Sinestra was doing her crazy stuff and like the 3 cannon build or whatever. But the pros who played this army are still good with it. The thing that really needed to be nerfed is Free Eagle Command Corps. It's been like 2 editions in a row where people have spammed 3 of that unit.
Yeah.
Like I think Fabian is still running a cities list with like 3 Command Corps in there.
Yeah.
They went up to 10.
Yes, Fabian.
Yeah, everything else went down.
Fabian Barbus, he's like he plays on Team Canada. I think he's in North Carolina now. But yeah.
And they also
But
should
the
have...
point is, with this reduction, I think that they are the best. The Cavaliers right now have the best ratio about point cost and what they are doing right now in cavalry.
Yep, wounds to health
Definitely.
and save, the best ratio. Yeah, they're the best cav out there.
board.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's not
regular pontiff.
it's not like their army rules are bad either.
No.
No.
Maybe people just don't
It's just a high
want to buy that many
army.
Cavaliers.
It's just a high. Yeah, and the thing is, again, this is like one of those armies. Like when Daughters of Cain is really overpowered, it's very easy to skip over them because Witch Elves previously were so expensive. Not a lot of people own this army because you have to spend a lot of money to buy the models and then you have to paint all the models. And Cities is very similar. The detail on each individual steel helm is so high that this is a very daunting army for newer players. So you don't see a lot of people playing this army.
And wait for the new releases.
Yeah.
The whole army.
Cogfort.
Yeah.
You guys think
I'm planning on getting into Cities just because of the Cogfort and the Gate Gargants. They look so cool.
Can't wait to see the rules on the Cogfort. If the rumor of the giving infantry +1 damage is true, that's going to be very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They did say it is for
I hope.
infantry sallying out. Like they said the gallants, the new knights on foot, essentially sally out of there. I'm imagining there's a buff for that.
Yeah. Rob says he has a local player that runs 50 Cavaliers, just wave after wave. Yeah, that's a valid way to play the game. If you get on the objectives first and your opponent can't, how are they going to win?
Yeah. It might be 60 now.
Oh god.
Yeah. God damn.
But, well, the book is coming out, so it might not last that long.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Very
And
true.
Scourge of Garan goes away in like 2-3 months too. I'm pretty sure.
Oh god, it could
And
get
that was the
stronger.
other thing
Oh,
that I
no.
was going to say, I really thought that they were going to go back a little bit with all the nerfs that they put into the Soggy Sinestra, but they didn't, which makes me question if they are really going to keep some of the Soggy War Scrolls. I start thinking that they will not.
It's
given
pretty
that
a
they
pretty
said
common
that
pattern
they
we've
might.
seen with the new books is that soggy stuff is like a testing ground for the battle tome. So I would expect the new Zenestra and the new book is basically the soggy one.
But
No,
balanced
those-
soggy one, not a completely nerfed
Yeah.
soggy one.
Yeah, like a modified version, but like
Yeah.
the same ideas will be present on the new one. Yeah, for sure.
That's what I expect.
All right. We can talk individually about each army actually later when we talk when we do a tier list. But Fire Slayers, they got unnerfed somewhat.
Great.
Their monsters are still expensive, but their infantry went down, and the Rune Master's
down,
points
up and
just
down.
keep going like this: up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Every battle scroll, it's plus 10, minus 10, plus. It just they can't figure out what the point value should be.
One more unit, one less unit. One
But I'm
more
actually-
unit, one less unit.
I'm pretty excited because I had a pretty good mixed arms Fire Slayer list, and the last point update gave it like 130 points, and it wasn't even that good of a list. So I
No.
think this is finally bringing it back to something more reasonable. So I'm pretty happy about that. So you can still spam Magma Droths, and it's okay, and you can still spam Volkite Berserkers, and that's okay. And then you do a mixed list, and that's okay too, which I'm happy about.
That's
Mhm.
nice.
Yes, those guys needs help, but in the meantime, it's funny to see and how Games Workshop is playing with their points.
Yeah. 3 months ago, they
It's
nerfed
funny
the exact same units.
Yeah, but it's so funny. It's
Exactly.
like you see an army like Nurgle doing that well, and then you're like, oh yeah, let's give them some green. And then Fire Slayers, they reach like a 50%, they're like 150 points. Like
Yeah.
immediately. Just like nerf everything.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what's happening?
Now, I do like that they've started nerfing enhancements instead of nerfing the base War Scroll, because if a unit is overpowered with an enhancement, it's just so much better to nerf the enhancement. It's just such a better design.
Yeah. I thought I wouldn't like it when it first happened, but I actually do. Like I will say the Flesh Eater Court's nerfs do I feel like hurt the regular FEC players more than the Monster Mash players.
Mhm.
But I think like overall, if you look at it as someone who wasn't running those enhancements specifically or that battle formation, you could still make a regular FEC list and be happy with it versus
Yeah.
having to have nerfs just because of the Monster Mash.
Maybe they'll just pivot into horror spam or flare spam next season.
It's a very good
Yeah, we'll
book.
see.
You can play it on a lot
good
of
book,
stuff
yeah.
that it's good.
Yeah.
The
I
Um,
just
critical
think the
role
internal balance is
sounds
weird
good.
because of the monsters right
Yeah,
there.
it's not a good book, Hellsmiths, and that's why almost every unit took a point cut because it's not a good book and pretty significant. Like the Immolator engine went down 20 points. Like these are big changes. They're gonna add 100, maybe 200 points to a lot of lists.
Haven't played against them. Not
It,
even once.
Although I
Uh,
will say, there's a local player, or he used to be local, Walker Snap. He actually got a 4-1. He got to play Gavin in the
I saw it.
final. For
It's
Decepticon.
I'm happy to hear that because I was like the fact that the game is when the worst armies in the game can still 4-1. That's a good sign, right? Like remember when we were talking like 3rd edition, we were like, this Git 2nd edition book is complete garbage. Like this is an F tier army. They don't have F tier armies in the game anymore. They don't allow armies to be that bad anymore, which is good. The worst we get is like a D tier.
That's true.
Speaking of D tier, Gits
No.
is a big winner. They haven't done much since they nerfed the chariots. I don't know what they're going to do now. Probably still more of the same, but with slightly more bodies, and maybe that's enough. Maybe
More
they
trolls.
just,
Put in some more trolls or something.
yeah, I guess. Same with Idoneth. They're going to do the exact same thing, but with slightly more bodies.
Yep.
Idoneth players are not excited, I don't think. Not a good time.
Iron Jaw, same thing. Just more bodies.
They got
The Cav got
20
cheaper.
points off Brutes, man. They're getting real aggressively cheap, and Iron Jaws should
Almost
not
as
be that
as
cheap.
Ardblaze.
Yeah.
They're
Not
almost
real.
as cheap as Ardblaze. Yeah.
Iron
which is great.
Jaws should be the Stormcast of destruction. They should be elite, low model count, not low, but lowish model count, and they shouldn't be this like super cheap horde army that they're turning into.
You guys know about that 60 Chaos Warrior list, right? That Scooter took to Adepticon.
Yep.
It was on the stream. Iron Jaws will basically be that essentially.
Yeah.
It's just a wall of 3-up boys and like some gore grunters or something with big pigs. I know Rob's probably salivating. Remember his lists?
Yeah, I remember them well. He's on Zinch right now, thankfully, so he might go green again soon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cruel Boys no longer has a tax. They killed the tax man. We should all take inspiration from that. Why does the Stormcast portal still cost 20 points? Everything else in our army has dropped 20 points. Why does the portal still cost 20?
Don't know.
Dangerous
Good
ends.
question. Don't know.
Ogres got big changes. They can bring, I think, like an extra monster in the monster truck list. So that's a thing.
They took the nerf out of the cards on list.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what ogres turn into. They're getting a complete revamp later this year. That's the rumor anyway. We'll see. I think that's going to be after 40k, after the new edition. So it'll be like a
Probably
August,
fall,
September
late
kind of
fall.
thing. I could see it being the August release. They usually have a big summer release and then a big fall release. And I can see, apparently, the dwarves are coming later this year. So that'll be the big fall release.
My bet is in October, just releasing the new models for December.
Sounds
Yeah,
right.
because whenever Nova is another big preview section, so that is when they probably preview the Overland.
Yeah.
I think Nova is in August. I want to say August or September. That's when they will preview.
Yeah, they'll do the next, like,
Yeah.
40k's out. How are you guys liking it? Here's more Space Marines and Orcs. That kind of thing. And then they'll reveal ogres then, too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Night Hunt. A lot of green in Night Hunt, which is good because they've been over-nerfed since they were ridiculously strong. And we'll see. Are they going to be too strong again?
So
Nothing in that book is
Maybe.
too strong other than Pyregeist. Pyregeist were the only thing because
Yeah.
people were bringing like 8 units of them.
It's
Other
just
than that,
it's a points book, right? Like that. If
Yeah.
the points are good, the army's strong. That's not a rules book. It's a points book.
Yeah. The rules doesn't matter.
Just bodies.
They are almost non-existent.
Yeah. Seraphon, same thing, because 150 point Stegodons. Can't believe they're getting that cheap. I'm pretty excited for 200 point Bastiladon with the laser beam, because now I can bring 2 of those guys. And that's 18 max with crit 2 hits on 3/3's Ren 2. That's something. And that's a lot of 2+ save as well. So, is it good?
Mhm.
Probably not, but I want to do it. I always like the monsters in Seraphon. Skaven, Vermin Lords, Jezzails, a couple other things went down.
They are doing good.
Yeah.
Skaven's one of the better armies in the game, but their win rate never reflects it.
Exactly. Maybe because many people, many newbies bought the army, the starting box of for
It's-
edition.
It's the Stormcast problem, right? Like we have a lot of new players bring the Skaventide box and a Spearhead, and they bring that to a GT, and it tanks the win rate. But that's been less of a problem for Stormcast this edition than it has been in previous years, and that seems to be a big problem for Skaven. Well, problem. It keeps giving you buffs, so I don't know how big of a problem that is. If there's like a
I
whole,
think they gained 50 to 60 points in some lists. That's
I don't know what Skaven lists are looking like. I just shoot rats. That's all I do.
They have a lot of good stuff. So
Mhm.
they got points decreases, so they are going to be even better.
Yeah.
That is
So
why
let-
win rate is not a good measurement for the strength of an army.
Yeah. It's a
Masks
measurement.
A lot of stuff.
It's a data
Yeah,
point.
but
Yeah.
It masks a lot of stuff.
It does, yeah. Like when Gargants are going 3-2 and they have a 60% win rate, is it a good army? No.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. If
Yeah.
3-2 is 60%.
Yeah.
If you cannot get more than 3-2, are you good?
Slaves, that's another points army, right? The only thing they went down 10 on Chosen and Vanguard. Unless they get another block of Chosen or another block of Vanguard, do any of these point changes matter? They're just
I
gonna
don't think they
it's just gonna be more
matter
trash
at
in
all.
those lists. Just fill it with
Yeah,
more
I don't
garbage.
think-
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
So-
it's gonna change.
Yeah.
I hope they come up with something different for them in the next edition, because they are very one-dimensional. They move forward and they hit you, and nobody wants to do the Dark Oath stuff.
Mhm. And if you move forward and hit them, they lose.
Exactly.
Yeah, if they get hit first and it's a significant hit, they die and they lose.
This is the best. This is the best example of new models in not good hands in the ruling are really shitty. Dark Codes are really good models. Some of them are gorgeous, but unfortunately the War School is too bad.
Yeah.
They have not found the good ruling for that section, and unfortunately the guys in this Lake to Darkness is still playing with them, but they are not finding the good mix.
There's
It's
just
just
not a lot of imagination. It's an index book. It's like an index 2 book. So like they just don't have a lot of imagination in the book right now.
yeah, and the models don't really
So
lend
flat.
themselves to making really crazy rules either. Like, what should Chosen do if they're not like Chosen do exactly what people want them to do. Varangard do exactly what people want them to do. But what people want them to do isn't very creative or interesting. unfortunately. So like they're pleasing the fans. People who play slaves love it. It's like exactly the what they got into, right? It's like if you play Tau and it's a melee army, what do you like? That's just wrong, right? Like slaves is perfect flavor and everything, but it's just not. They could add more interesting mechanics, I think, next time around.
More different ways of delivering.
Yeah, not just delivering, but like the idea is to please the gods, like, but you don't commit to a god. You just please different gods. It's like they could get buffs based on things they do that aren't just like right now they get Eye of the Gods or something. Eye of the Gods is terrible. What they should do is like specific things that the different gods want you to do, and they give you different buffs. Like Tzeentch really likes it when you dispel spells. Nurgle likes it when you stand an objective and make it home. You know, something like that. Khorne likes it when you kill something.
So I give them quests.
It's a lot of bookkeeping, but I mean, the new battle tomes all have a ton of bookkeeping, so whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, how many Venari whatever runes do you have on your battle scripture? I hope you brought a whiteboard, buddy.
It's getting less and less complicated as I play it.
Yeah, it becomes second nature. There's certain paths that you follow pretty much every game.
Yeah.
Usually river strength, river mountain. River. Sometimes you go for this. River's very good first turn. Very, very good. Yeah. And Stormcast.
Even with that.
Sorry, Luis, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No. So even with that, I'm surprised people like Nick Walters in Adepticon. He fought really good in the fifth. I think only lost against the fifth. Yes, the fifth.
He lost the OCR Thunder.
Yeah, but even with that really flat Battlescroll, he made it well. People is still willing to play selected armies. But anyway.
Oh, he just plays it because he doesn't think Ironjaws is worth playing. Ironjaws is his main army, and once he thought they were bad, he was like, "I'll switch to slaves." So this is the closest bet. Next thing.
They really have to get rid of Mighty Destroyers, right? Because like Ironjaws should be a smash and bash army, and it should be reasonably fast. And Mighty Destroyers is holding back both aspects of it. It should charge in and hit stuff. It should do what Slaves does, but in a green way. Whatever green means, I don't know. They can figure it out, but it should just be green Slaves to Darkness. It shouldn't be this like movement tech army.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
I would argue that movement tech is fine, but yeah, I don't know.
Some amount of it is okay because they're both cunning and brutal. So you need like an orky cunning. So I think like blocking redeploys is fine because it increases your aggression, right? If it lets you charge into them, then it's okay. But like Mighty Destroyers isn't like it's not Ironjaw's cunning. It's Cruel Boy's cunning, right? It's weird that Ironjaws do it.
So I think the other thing holding them back is like they printed the whole destruction was always hit on 4s meme, but then gave so many books, so many ways to get -1 hit.
Yeah.
That it just like destroys them. So I can actually see the appeal of that spell giving you crit 2 hits because mathematically crit 2 hits is like having +1 to hit for that.
And it doesn't care about -1 to hit.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
The way around it.
Yeah, so it makes sense for them to get that buff, but mainly what killed this army is like the 3 books they printed right after Ironjaws were like, oh, -1 to hit in like 6 different ways. It's like, how do you fight DOK? DOK, you'll be hitting the whole army on 5s. Tzeentch, whole army on 5s.
If they're going to make -1 hit and -1 wound as prevalent as they have, they need to give more ways to get +1 hit and +1 wound. There has to be play and counterplay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's nothing they can do against Nurgle. Nurgle will always be -1 to hit, -1 to wound, turning off all your weapon abilities. So your charge is turned off. You're hitting on 5s, wounding on 3s. Good luck with that. Like you're not killing anything.
210 wounds.
Yeah, like you're not killing anything.
With a 5 up board.
Yeah.
Okay, Stormcast. We got great changes. We'll talk about them soon. Avoided Nerfs award is Nurgle, and Nurgle but in bold.
Yeah.
Because it's really baffling that Nurgle just completely dodged 10 points on Rodigus, who a lot of people aren't using him that much at top tables anymore because they realize he's just a point sink. The armies he counters are just not top threats right now. And then Belga got 10 points. Okay, Nurgle went up 10 points.
And then they changed the regiment options for Belga, so she can bring now, I don't know what, some unit. And now they don't have to get another hero, so it's actually a discount.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not 3-drop anymore.
And like Blobe is good. The Magathors are all playable. Blobe is the best one in my opinion. His spell turns off weapon abilities, which is amazing. And he's playable and he got 10 points cheaper. So like I could even see him getting 10 points cheaper because like he felt overcosted when I did the review, but not right now. Like this is not the time to buff Nurgle in any way. It's the top meta threat. Everybody's teching around it.
Yeah. Not only
So
that,
yeah.
but like if you look at the elo distribution, it's the newer players are all going 3-2-4-1.
Yep. Yeah,
It's,
because you don't need to
yeah.
know much. You just need to go and move forward, and that's all.
Yeah, when your army rule is passive health, you know, like it's the skill floor is really low because all you have to do is move forward. So like, can you make a run roll? You got it, buddy. That's it.
Makes
Yeah.
some of their units sick, and then just move forward and win.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
they are
someone
actually a winner.
Yeah.
I would say that they are a winner.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
someone in this workshop will really lost that information because what's crazy that as you mentioned it, Paul, the win rate, the lowest win rate, according to the newbies guys, is 50%, or was 50% at least.
That's
one.
wild.
Yeah.
That's way too high
Newer
for like
players
a
are the
low.
50%.
Yeah, that's really high.
Yeah.
Well,
That means
My
newer players
theory-
are going 3-2. or
my
2-2.
theory is that when they finalized these numbers, they didn't have enough data because this probably should have come out in March, which means the data probably would have been like they have to pick a cutoff point, so it probably would have been somewhere in February. And maybe they were like, there's not enough data yet. It's still a new book. Because remember, 2 months ago, Nurgle was a new book. And maybe they're like, maybe there's not enough data. That's my copium here. And I think the next General's Handbook is gonna just bury this army. They're gonna
Yeah.
go
I
I think
hard
there's
because
also the hobby
It's
lag.
gonna happen.
hobby lag is a
Like,
thing.
it's a
Yeah,
hobby lag thing too, because the
Yeah,
army
they are
came out a
lagging.
month and a half ago.
That is
So
why they
people
didn't-
are just
they didn't
buying the
touch-
models and painting them.
yeah.
That is why they didn't touch Lumineth either.
Well,
Lumineth is just a brand new book.
yeah,
I didn't
it's still
expect
too
it.
new. Like Light of Eltarian's
The only thing I
obvious.
did expect was Light of Eltarian's the only obvious one.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk Stormcast. So we got 30 points off the Drakesworn Templar. Does that matter? No.
No.
Drakesworn Templar, it doesn't matter what points he is. His problem is that his ability doesn't work in both players' turns. It only works on your turn. And that sucks because his one niche would be using Quicksilver Draft in the enemy turn when a monster charges you. So you can like basically say, no, monsters aren't charging me because if you charge me, I'm going to kill you. Right? He can't do that. So that's completely worthless. Just use a cavalry unit or something instead. He's not good. 390 is still way too much.
Yep.
Like 330, maybe? Like he has to go way lower to be playable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Effect monsters can be 230. This guy can be 330.
The wizard, like what is it? How much are Born Gulking on Terrorgeist?
340, 360
They're
now,
like
I think.
340. Yeah, 360. He should be at least 360 then.
Yeah.
Same as them.
Yeah.
He's not even a wizard. He's just a regular guy.
It's not ideal.
In third edition, this one was only a monster, right? There was not hero. Or
It was a
It
hero.
was a
It's
hero.
always been a hero. Yeah. Since first edition, it's
Okay.
always been a hero.
So that's in
Yeah.
Prime 250 though. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. He's I think at the start of the edition I said 240, and I remember you guys all pushed back and said, no, there's no way he'd ever get that chief. I'm like, no, he's just, you guys don't understand. He's not good. 250 is close enough. He's playable again. Even especially in this season, let's say, when there's not like tremendous amounts of shooting that could, because he can't benefit from obscuring, but he can benefit from guarded hero because he is infantry. So he can walk up the board, not get shot, and do 24 max with crit mortals somewhere pretty reliably on 2s, very easily with Vigilors. And he's a tax hero, right? He's 100 points over Tornus. So with the other point changes, I'm finding myself like 40 to 70 points left over in a lot of lists, and I'm not sure how to bridge the gap. So one of the ways to spend those points might be Celestin Prime.
Upgrading.
Yeah.
Upgrading the hero. Yeah.
What do we think of Ionis?
That's the
Ionos. He's finally getting
Sorry, Luis, go
better,
ahead.
but-
Luis, go ahead. Sorry.
no. It's fine. I'm fine. I
No,
prefer to
no,
talk about
like-
that.
Are you going to use
Yeah.
Celestin Prime?
Yeah. Yeah, so Stamp Prime, to me, the problem is even if he drops to 20, there are another supporting heroes that probably could be fitting better in this synergy. So that's the point. Celestin Prime War School has been old fashioned since this edition. So I don't think that he, even if he's 200 points, could add more value than another.
Well, the key word you used there was
Wizard
support
Preamble.
hero. He's not a support hero. He's a hammer.
Yeah.
He's a hammer that brings other hammers.
That's it. So his
He really
cost
is a
always has to depend on how
He's
much
not.
damage he's doing. That's it. That's his
It's
only
like
use.
Karazai. When you use Karazai, part of his value is the fact that he's a tax hero, so he's saving you from spending 150 points on something like Tornus or Bastion, which are not offensive units. And we need as many offensive units as we can. We need like support hero. If we could play 0 support heroes, we would. It's just that the support that we bring is so minimal and so useful that it's worth bringing.
Yeah, it's the same, similar problem that in Rasta. So
Yeah, she's still 20 points more expensive than Prime, so she's still 20 points unplayable. That's a perpetual problem, it seems.
yeah, it's the same.
I mean, in Dross, I looked at it. I'm like, nope, minus 30 more, at least
Still.
minus 30 more.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Maybe
What do you think of Ionis?
So Ionis is I built a lot of lists with him, and a lot of them came 20 points short in the previous season. Battlescroll. And I went back and revisited those lists, and I'm like, I don't want Javelins anymore. I want Desolators now. So the fact that Ionis is 360 is interesting, because I can save a lot of points cutting Javelins down, and then I can save another 20 on Ionis. And I don't know. Like, the Phalanx was a big reason to use Ionis, right? Because he would buff the Questers, the Annihilators, and another third unit that you'd have in your list. But we're not really using the Phalanx anymore because, like, Annihilators don't do enough into, like, Nurgle, and Tzeentch can just kill them with spells ahead of time. So Annihilators are kind of going out of favor. So I'm not sure what you would use with Ionis. I'm kind of stuck there. I don't know what the Ionis lists look like. Maybe Vanquishers? But Desolators are just so much better.
I think you just run them in that list, Tristan. No, not Tristan. Oh goodness, we just interviewed him.
That was last year.
No. Was it last year? Oh, good lord. Yeah. He was running an Ionis. He was running the Ionis list at 100 with 2 units of 6 prosecutors because he found really good use for buffing them up. But Ionis is pointed like he's still at Prime in terms of damage, but his really only utility is Priest 2.
Yeah.
And I don't think 360 is the right value for him. I think he should, if anything, he does less damage than Andrasta, I think. He should be lower than Andrasta.
He's very bad.
He does comparable damage to Andrasta. Not Andrasta versus monsters, but normal Andrasta. I think he's like 28 max.
No, I'm talking about Scourge. I'm talking about Scourge Andrasta, to be fair.
You mean Iridan?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Iridan.
No, he should be the same cost as Iridan. I agree with that.
Yeah, 320. Yeah, that's what I mean. 320.
Yeah. The problem is that Iridan and Ionis both buff Ruination primarily. They both take Ruination. So they compete for the role, and I don't think you run both of them.
I do.
I think you run one for the double priest.
Yeah, Luis has a very nice list.
I would like to see that list, because I'm seriously considering it, because like you go Ionis, Iridan, Vigilant on Morgriff as your 3 heroes. Like you skip the Night Relictor, which I hate doing, but you have so many priests. But you buff up prosecutors with +1 attack, +1 rend, and then double fight, and you just murder something completely. And the threat is so large that your opponent has to play super cagey, and then even if they like get ahead, you still have like Annihilator Phalanx behind it. So it's something I've thought about. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what's really good with Ionis? Weirdly.
Taking Iridan and Ionis is really good, because Ionis also can, since this 4th edition, he got the keyword of Ruination. So right now, with Iridan behind of him, he can reroll the resistant rolls, and is something that is really good, feels good. Also buffing to the most of your army, adding he's the specialist to chant a blessed weapon in the proper moment, or to even to be there to die instead of Iridan. But obviously, this is not a really strong list. But to me, it's really good. It's funny.
He manages to teleport a lot with that list.
So
That is a strength.
here's something we talked about a year ago, and we haven't really talked about since. The big bless on Ionis is really good on Axe Palladors and Stormstrike Javelins. Or Palladors, Stormstrike Palladors.
Mm-hmm.
So like a double cav list, or maybe you cut the Axe Palladors for Desolators, because they actually scale pretty well with it too. But you run some kind of like MSU Stormstrike spam list, maybe like 4 units with Ionis. And because the Stormstrikes need a turn to set up, you need a unit to die. And Ionis needs a turn to set up so that he can chant the Big Bless more reliably. It's still on a 2-up ultimately. You go for like a big play where everything's +1 attack and everything's anti-infantry because it's Stormstrikes. And it's all Thunderhead because you drop like some long strikes or something. And it's all +1 attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the play for
The thing
him.
is, like, I look at him and I'm like, would I pay 360? Or I mean, even if he was 320, ultimately he's just a blessed weapon machine.
Yeah.
I just hate that role. It's like such
But-
a bad role. It's like I wish our prayers were better, or wish he had invocations that he could do. I don't know.
Sure. We can wish list a better War Scroll for him all day.
Yeah.
But I think the Big Bless is something we haven't explored and it's worth exploring because we need more damage. In this meta, with Tzeentch and Nurgle and Lumineth giving us debuffs and wards and everything, we need as much damage as we can find. So I think Ionis Big Bless is something we should consider. It might make Axe Palladors playable again.
Yeah, could be.
Yep.
Yeah, and we are not relying that much in Rend.
Yeah. Rather than going efficiency, we go impact. And Stormdrakes have the issue of being really weak to -1 hit. Really sucks to get hit with -1 hit on Stormdrakes because you want to be defensing usually. Like all-out attack is a scarce resource for them. So when they're hitting on 5s, it just feels awful. Even when they're hitting on 4s, it feels awful. Like you want to be on 3s with them all the time, and it's just not happening anymore. So we should start pivoting into other damage sources.
So conclusion, he should just get cheaper at 320 to Airden points.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he should be the same cost as Soggy Iriden. Which, that's another thing they still haven't said anything about the Soggy stuff. Remember before the new year, they were like, stay tuned. We're going to have news in the new year for your Soggy stuff. And it's fucking April now.
All right. Karazai Krondas, the Big Dragon Brothers. What do we
So
think?
Karazai was good. We already had him in A tier internally, right? So like we already like Karazai. We made a whole video about him. He's now cheaper.
Yeah.
Cool. And Praetors are cheaper. So maybe now you bring Praetors with him too. Maybe.
Could be.
Yeah.
But he also was going with Questors, and they went up 10, so
Yeah. That's fine.
balance it out.
Yeah. I'm not that bummed out by the +10 on Questors. Like a little bit of points here and there helps. It's not a big deal. Karazai was already good. You should already be using him. Krondus,
is
though.
back to his index points.
Yeah.
500.
So
That's what he
Krondus is cheaper. Praetors are cheaper. Every spell lord basically is cheaper. So like 10 points off Morbid Conjuration, free Kronspine, or 10 points off Primal Energy. All of these are really interesting options for Krondus. The problem is that Obscuring still exists, and Krondus really wants to cast spells on visible enemies and then put shooting units into those visible enemies. And Obscuring stops all of that. So having to leverage his body offensively is really difficult because all of his defensive buffs want him to stay restrained. So he's tough to leverage offensively, and he's still very expensive. But maybe if you're reliably casting Purple Sun and it's getting more value, like if you're giving enemies, like if you're going up to Rend 3 with your Vanquishers, with the Purple Sun, maybe that there's some play there. Like you'd countercast the Purple Sun, perhaps. I don't know. I think he's like a C tier pick these days because Obscuring is just really reducing his potential damage output. Because the stuff you really want to shoot can be immune to shooting, which is rough. The infantry and
Would you?
Yeah.
Would you say he needs to get cheaper?
I think he's waiting for a seasonal rule change. I don't think he needs to get cheaper right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that. I think seasonal rules could help. I think like assuming the rules roughly stay the same, he should be maybe 470, 460.
Yeah, 480, 470, yes, so that's what
If there were no seasonal rules, I could see another 20 points off him, but I don't think he's going to get cheaper than 460. That's like the absolute floor for him.
The reason I say this is because assuming what you're saying comes true and we get the shooting season back, we're going to need Praetors for it.
Yeah.
and that's a tax. Like we're already talking about 120 point tax.
But
so
reinforced Praetors are an option, and they're actually a good option because you're paying you're paying 240. That's only 30 more than Questor Soulsworn, and you're getting 5-up ward Questor Soulsworn that also give your dragon a 5-up ward. Like that's a really good value unit.
Alternatively, I would like Praetors to be 110 instead of 120.
Sure, I'd like that too.
Considering they are soul bonded to one hero, they're not just like they're not free guild command core where they're going from one marshal to the other, getting a 5-up ward.
And they have to stay near that hero to keep the ward. Yeah, I can see that.
Correct.
I think even 100 Praetors could honestly be 100 points.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Bastion going down 20. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I didn't write Bastion on here.
Oh
Whoops.
yeah.
Yeah, Bastion was already good, was already playable, and now he's going down 20, so he's only 40 more than Tornus, who's the tax man. So they're now sharing the tax burden. I think both of them are valid picks. Bastion has very obvious value with the free command point and like an okay body, but Tornus, his speed and the healing are pretty good in this season, right? Like when Nurgle's everywhere and you could just heal off their diseases in the hero phase with Rally, and then in the combat phase with that, and then start of turn with Places of Power. Like there's lots of ways to get rid of the diseases with Tornus. He's also a 4-up ignore against the disease, which is not, like little bits of utility add up with him. So I don't think Bastion's going to become the default tax pick. I think it's still Tornus, but Bastion at 190 feels a lot better.
Oh yeah. Exactly. When you build a list and then you have the extra points, you swap into Bastion.
He's an upgrade. Yeah. He's slower though, so if you need like if your list only has prosecutors and infantry, having a second fast unit is probably better than Bastion. But then again, if you have that much infantry, you don't need Bastion's all-out attack. Like if you're running cavalry, that's when you need Bastion, because you want to get those companion plus one hit.
Desolators.
Yeah, Desolators.
Plus one hit on Desolators, definitely. And like just even having that. So where I can like hit Vigilers with something, and then Long Strike's can AoE on something else for free if I want to. I think that's good.
And also Vigilor stacking with all out attack is a thing we need to do more often than never because of all the -1 hit sources now. Yeah,
correct.
Yep.
But to me, I'm in Felicity tournament. There, I was surprised how many people in Stormcast was playing with Bastion. He's really a good pickup, and is especially based in the infantry units. And my pickup was also Bastion with the hunters, and it was a really good experience. So I probably will be taking this in coming months, just trying to make something better with the drops of the units, the cost. I see it.
Yeah, I'm going to be trying to make Bastion and Tornus lists too. Yeah, I think it's fun.
I'm really glad we made those videos over the past year, or 3 months or so. Like the unit spotlights that we did, I'm really glad we did all those because they're all these units are now we used them when they were bad and now they're better. So, Morgriff, 180 points. He literally can't get cheaper than this. This is the absolute floor for this unit. He's gone down 110 points.
Insane.
It can't go any lower.
Change the war scroll. Just change the rampage. My God, like at this point, like come on, they are not opposed to doing war scroll changes. They just don't want to look at the Stormcast book ever again. It's like I don't know what's wrong with these people.
Look,
it's like
he has. I'm gonna do it again, and Ben's gonna make another meme.
No, we're not doing the video again. We're not doing the video again. No. There's a video on the channel. We're not doing that again.
It's good.
I saw Luis and Eduardo's face during that. Eduardo was like,
no, I'm telling you, it's actually good. It's so like the specific list I'm thinking about is like Lord Celestin on Dracoth, and you bring Knight Judicators as your shooting core, and then you still want to bring Prosecutors. So like Morgriff replaces your Questers, which is now a 30-point savings. And in that list, you're not really recycling anything, so you can use the Sigil and Tenacity on him. And you have Prosecutors and that guy both sharing the 5-up board. It's real. It's actually a thing. I swear to God. Morgriff is super niche, but it is playable now.
Yeah, it's just a monster for 180. It's not bad.
It's a Quester Soulsworn replacement that can bring Prosecutors in your list. That's what it is.
My God, that rampage is so bad.
It's ignore it. Just pretend it doesn't. You know what? Light of Eltharion would hate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
sure.
It's better than not having it, I
That's
guess. Okay.
Interesting. Well, but you
Neve,
will not put Light of Eltharion against this guy.
you might not have a choice, right? Like, it might force Light to not teleport in.
No, it will, because Light doesn't care. He's got a 3-up save, 4-up ward. But what Light of Eltharion has an anti-monster thing with crit 2 hits. He's just going to kill the Lord Vigilant.
Yeah, but he's gonna give you strike last.
Unless he gets strike
On a
last,
3-up.
and then you die.
On a 3-up. That's not
It's
happening.
no, it's
No,
a
it's
two
a-
two
no,
dice.
No, it's a 2d6.
Two dice over health.
You have to roll
Yeah.
a 9.
His health.
You have to roll a 9. Get the
He's
hell
a
out.
seven
No,
health.
7.
Hold on.
He's 7.
Yes.
He's 8.
Real
Yeah.
Patriots are fact checking in real time. Does it equal or greater than?
Exceeds. That exceeds.
Does okay? So it's not equal. Okay.
No. You have to roll.
So you
an
have to
8.
roll an 8 on 2 dice, which is like a 40%.
No, hell no. We all saw how
No
bad
way.
Mind Razor was
No
without
way.
the +1 to cast. We're not having this conversation.
But consider he'll have tenacity to survive that on a 3-up anyway. He'll also have Finest Hour that turn and a 5-up ward, and it's possible
He's
Shock
not
and Awe.
gonna-
You can drop into play with Shock and
He's
Awe.
not gonna charge Eltharion. You're gonna have a screen. He's gonna charge the screen. Eltharion gonna go elsewhere.
Yeah, and when he teleports
Like
into
those
combat,
other-
then you grab him. Wait, no, is it charge phase you use that?
No,
Yes,
combat
it's in the
phase.
charge
Okay.
phase. It's in the
Phew.
charge
It's in
phase.
combat.
It's in the
No,
charge
God.
phase.
No. His rampage is in the charge phase. Eltharion shows up in the combat phase, so you don't even
Okay.
get to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're never
Alright.
gonna charge Eltharion.
So just pretend the
that's what I'm
ability
saying.
doesn't exist. It's fine. It doesn't matter. He's just stats.
So
We're used to
bad.
playing just stats, right? Okay.
Yeah, the
so
stats are
bad,
good.
dude.
The stats are
Um,
good. If you
more-
don't have enough points for the quester, you bring this guy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If he's
Ability
150.
was good. I would
No,
take
he
it,
can't
okay?
get cheaper, guys. He's down
No, no, no.
110 points. He can't be cheaper.
You know that ability where he picks a ruination unit to give +5 OCT? That should not be an aura-based thing. It should just be you give it to him and they go off somewhere to try to control something. If that, like, I could understand giving prosecutors +5 control. Like, having a squad of 6 prosecutors, 3d6 charge onto an objective and take it with 11 control is actually pretty bonkers. That's actually
This
quite
guy
good.
doesn't even buff his own control.
No,
Yeah, like,
it's bad.
what is this unit? Dude? Who made this? Like, why?
Yeah.
It's bad.
I
It's
would not
bad,
be
but
surprised. Like, we have
Exactly.
heard rumors that the next GHB has new War Scrolls coming in, like the same way that Scourge of Garan was. I would not be surprised if this War Scroll gets redone because it's horrible.
they really want to sell the
It's
Iriden
making
kit.
us laugh a lot.
Yeah.
It has
They-
given us a lot of laughs.
Yes. The
It-
only way I
yeah.
would play this if it became a sub commander for Iriden. If I could take this as a sub monster
That would be
with
nice.
Iriden, I would take it.
I
would take
I
it.
like the sigil on it. Having a 3-up no command thing as like a support charger is really
Sure.
interesting. Because he can go from one flank to the middle, which questers don't do. Questers sit on that flank until they die or they teleport to the other one, right? But he can actually move in and be a supporting charger onto the mid fight. Kind of like if you brought 2 concussors, which are 30 points more than this guy, conveniently.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Neve Black Talon, 280. She was
Yeah,
somewhat
good.
okay when we just wanted as many Vanguard units as possible. These days we have so many choices for Vanguard tax, it's not really worth bringing Neve.
Yeah,
I
it
would say
doesn't
her
change
ability
it.
is pretty good. I would
Um,
just say she needs to be cheaper. Like her again. She's a damage hero, right? There's no like utility here really. It's a strike
Wizard.
and fade hero. If Bastion,
Mhm.
Wizard, sure.
Yeah.
But, like if
That
that,
cannot
it's like
cost.
I would think like 30 points over the Storm Coven. So not 280, like 240, 230.
But that wizard cannot
Like, if
cast
you look at-
Stormcast spells, right?
Oh, yeah, only generic spells anyway. It can only
Summons.
The
cast
spell
the-
that it's on
Can
the
only
war
summon.
scroll of- that you cannot shoot.
yeah,
the
yeah,
guys.
protect from shooting. But like there's so much obscuring, you don't really need it. So it's like,
Yeah, no. Especially this season, no.
Yeah.
yeah.
Storm Coven
I would
should go
say
down, too.
240 is fair because if you look at other war bands that have had this, like Blades of the Hollow King, they're like 240, 250. I think that's what Neve Black Talent should be at.
Yeah, we'll see. Next season might give buffs. Andrasta, no. We talked about her. Still no, right? Just
Same.
Keeper, 240.
Has to go lower.
Just keep
yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep going. Vandis,
nice, but- I don't think
maybe.
so either.
He brings Extremis. And that's important.
Yeah, could be. Maybe some.
He's
some
now the
better-
But he
same
doesn't fight
price.
with them, does he? He only fights with Warrior Chamber. He
He gives Warrior Chamber +1 hit while bringing Extremis. Probably
and
bad.
plus 3 OC, so he can stack with questers on an objective or craters if he has to.
Yeah, no, probably no, but maybe. I probably not. Yeah, Desolators A+. They're like so close to being S tier right now. It's crazy. Every list I have starts with them. I'm trying to figure out how to get them in a list. That's why I said Vandus bringing Extremis is important, because you could do a list that's like Vandus, Desolators, Thunderhead Host, Night Judicators for your shooting core, and then you still have +1 hit on the whatever Warrior Chamber unit you bring. Right? So Desolators are so good in this meta. It's not necessarily their +1 damage, although the +1 damage is nice when you face Nurgle and Tzeentch and things like that. It's the fact that their damage output is just good for their cost. At 170 points, they do good damage into everything. Even if they don't get any of their buffs up, they're still, aside from Fulminators on the charge, Desolators are the most efficient damage unit we have for cavalry, at least. Like Grand Hammer Annihilators are more efficient, but Desolators clear them in terms of cavalry. So Desolators are excellent. They're replacing every other cavalry unit in my list. They're so good. Everybody should have them. Hopefully you guys magnetized your Dracoths to use axes for the first time ever. Not ever. There was a brief period of time in 2nd edition where we used a block of 6, but that was very niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
The Fulminators. Yeah, the Fulminators with the death ability on, well, when we were able to add some units from another factions, and in this case from the little wizard of cities.
Battle Mage?
Battle Mage, Sages of Sigmar. Battle Mage
Yeah,
and
Battle
third
Mage.
for the
Yeah,
+3 to charge. Yeah.
yeah,
I miss them.
that was a really good moment.
I
Yeah,
miss it.
me too.
I never got that charge. Never.
That was
Never
bad.
ever.
Yeah.
Roll better.
I
Don't know
never
what to tell you.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Never. Never worked for me.
Fulminators now, 10 points. Nope, Desolators are better. We're not going to use Fulminators. If Fulminators were rent to all the time, we would use them, but they're not, so we're not going to use them.
Yeah, like I don't know what their niche is supposed to be. Even their mortal wounds was per model. Like you roll a dice per model, and that's how many mortal wounds they do. I would take Fulminators, but like I just don't understand what the
bad.
point of that is. Yeah, bad.
Praetors, cheaper, good. Not necessarily great, but good. I think they're still C tier. I don't think they're anything more than a niche pick.
It doesn't change much.
Yeah.
I think
Chariot.
they still need to be cheaper. 110.
Chariot is playable though, right? Because
Chariot,
consider that Questor Soulsworn, which are a good unit, and everyone accepts it's still a good unit. Their role is primarily playing flanks. And what's the worst thing about Questors on flanks is their 5-inch move. It's awful, and I would love to use even Stormstrike Paladors instead. But what if instead of using Stormstrike Paladors, I swap the Questors from 210 to 2 Chariots, which is now 220. And if we're using units like Desolators, they don't have like super high threat range like Paladors or Stormdrakes or anything like that. So we're not relying on the power through to keep them alive, right? So Chariots actually have an opportunity to use power through in a Desolator meta. I'd never put those things together in my head before now, but 2 Chariots, one playing on each side, or maybe both of them charging up one side together, because each of them does the charge mortal wounds. So in a pinch, you could just pile everything into the middle and just add that damage together. And half their damage output does get, a little bit more than half gets Thunderhead Host, which is fine for a 110 point unit. Their damage output is good. If like you have to power through with them for them to do any meaningful damage, but a guaranteed 2d3 power through mortal wound is good.
Well, they're coming in with 3d3 potentially.
Potentially,
They charge
yeah.
3d3. Yeah,
Yep.
and then 2d3 off of power through, and they do they get the extra movement off of power through.
Yeah,
So
D6
you could
extra.
Retreat back 14 inches, 13 to 14 inches.
Yeah.
on average.
Well, I'm going to assume 11. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. D6, also known as 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 Chariots is
important.
interesting. It's we've already done some preliminary list building, and I found it doesn't feel very good with Bastion. The points just are a little awkward when you use Bastion, but in Tornus lists, Chariots feel good. Even 1 Chariot feels like, instead of bringing a 90-point Vanquisher screen, I usually have the 20 points needed to upgrade them into a Chariot. And I would rather have the speed and potential mortal wound damage of a Chariot for 20 points than 5 Vanquishers.
Yeah, it's an upgrade for sure from a screen. And they can also screen pretty well if you need them to. Yeah. I see it.
They're not good. Like they're a C tier unit through and through. But I don't care. I want to use my Chariots. I have 4 of them. I want to use them. Storm Strikes, -10. Should have been -20, but I'll take it. They're now 30 points cheaper than Questor Soulsworn, which is an interesting place to be because they were competing with them before. They were 10 points cheaper, now they're 30. Storm Strikes are okay. They are aggressively okay. Outside of a gimmick list that uses like 4 units of them, you probably might just skip them and be okay with that. Like, the problem... I thought, in an infantry-based meta, their anti-infantry would matter, but then you've got Desolators. Desolators exist, and the Storm Strikes just can't be a reinforced hammer when you could take Desolators for cheaper instead.
Yes.
Yeah, they
and
compete
so
with
this is
other
why they're like externally they're competing with things like Free Guild Cavaliers and Gorgruntas from Iron Jaws. Internally, they're competing with Desolators. So unless this unit is 160, why would I ever pick it over Desolators? Ever.
Yeah, it's like a flanking type unit, and as a flanking type unit, the strike first utility is nice. You have to throw away a Liberator, or not Liberator, nobody's going to use Liberators. A Chariot, when your Chariot dies, your Storm Strikes all get strike first on the charge, which is interesting. Like, that's actually a good ability for a flanking type unit. You don't have to choose whether you want to fight on the flank or in the middle at the same time. And they get better the more of them you have. Like, you reach this weird critical mass where it's like, oh, okay, I threw a Knight Judicator at my opponent and he died, and now I have 4 units of Storm Strikes that are all fighting first. Right? Like, this is actually a real threat for a lot of armies to deal with. So, yeah, they're still playable, they're still fine, but I'm not... Like, I wish they didn't have all these issues. Like, 10 more points would have actually made a big difference for them. Going down to 170, same cost as Desolators, would have been a big deal.
Or just damage 2.
Or damage 2. I mean, yeah, I would love a 50% damage boost. That would be great.
The thing is, like, yeah, because they're 180, I don't even know about 170. Like, if I'm ever at a spot, like today I was doing a lot of like list building. I found myself in a spot where I was 170 points short. You know what I said? I said I'll add a minimum Tempester squad to turn off all the defense. 2
Tempesters are nice.
Like, this needs to be 160. Like, if Gorgruntas is going to be 160, like, that's what this needs to be. This needs to be like, the niche for this needs to be our cheapest cav option.
I don't disagree, but I also don't see it happening. I don't think we can go below 170.
And in Stormcast is a cheap
because it's still 15. It's still 15 health on a 3-up.
So are Cavaliers.
Yeah, but
so are Gorgruntas.
Cavaliers don't have Heaven Sent. They don't have teleports, and they don't have reserves. And they don't
have 5-up ward, the ability to always count as being charged and strike first. And order, they do have access to 5-up wards because they have access to that strike last stupid order.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is they don't have reserves, teleports, or what was the last thing I mentioned?
Heaven Sent. Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is there's just different factors to consider. I think Storm Strikes do need to be cheaper. I don't think they can get cheaper than 170 though.
That's fair.
I don't think that they're gonna be playable, honestly.
Don't think so?
Yeah. Ultimately, they need a new War Scroll. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this and the Lord Vigilant are in line for the 2 War Scroll changes we talked about.
Because they will always be competing with other stuff that is more useful.
If there's another round of Soggy, I really hope it's Storm Strikes because they could sell so many of these models. They're so good.
They look amazing. Yeah, they look amazing. They are also by.
All right, Vanquishers. They are 10 points cheaper. 90 point. All the Redeemers are 90 points. We did it.
Keep going.
No, don't keep going. They're fine. Okay. This is a fine niche. So they were already competing with Questers at the same point cost. Now, not better, but like if you're not running Desolators, like if you're running Javelin Paladors or Axe Paladors or something else like that, or Storm Drakes, like you could want a cheaper anti-horde unit. Vanquishers are a fine choice for that. They have a lot of issues, right? They're slow. There's no teleport. There's no defensive utility. Their damage is complete trash into anything except the good targets. Like you need to be hitting things with 5 or more models. So into monsters, Vanquishers are just complete garbage, whereas Desolators still just chump monsters. They just club them to death brutally with their axes. No skill involved. Like they're not trying to cleave you. They're just hitting you with the back of the axes and it's still doing enough. But yeah, Vanquishers have issues. So like they're good, but they're not great. They're like a B tier unit.
Yeah, if you have the points and you don't know what to bring, you can bring a reinforced unit of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no infantry, you can use them as a very big screen, which is okay. And if there is infantry,
it's that 180 point.
Yeah.
They are not bad.
That 180 point. Instead of bringing Strong Strike Paladors, bring 10 Vanquishers. They're pretty
Yeah, a reinforced unit.
One
attack.
question: do you prefer to bring a reinforced units of Vanquisher instead of one unit of Stormstrike Paladors?
In most situations, yes, but it depends on your list. I think if you're bringing Desolators already, it feels really bad to bring Vanquishers on top of that because they compete for the same targets in a list.
Yeah.
And unless you can, and like, there's going to be times where you run into monsters and Vanquishers just do nothing, and it sucks.
Yep.
So,
True.
Vanquishers are certainly more damage output, but if your list doesn't need more horde damage because you have Desolators, it's never bad to have more speed or just more utility with Questor Soulsworn. You know, like if you have the points, you can go up to Questor Soulsworn.
Yeah, because right now
no delivery is a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Or deep strike is not in the best moment. It's not living the best moment. So it is restricted in movement. So I prefer the board presence with a fast unit. Therefore, my bet could be even if I have any kind of list, I will take Stormstrike Paladors instead of reinforced units or Vanquishers. This is my.
If you have enough mobility, I would rather these guys. Honestly.
Depends on the list, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the list.
Yeah.
I think the way you have to play this unit is I've seen Nurgle players do this, but like you would need to deep strike them out of range, knowing just how far your opponent can move, and then you have to
redeploy forward.
Yep. Redeploy forward and then get into position to hit something.
It's like playing Grand Hammers. You have to be ready to aggressive redeploy.
Yep.
Questers don't have that issue. They just teleport. And then
also they just tell you to come at me. You know?
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, Vanquishers can't really take a hit. I don't know why. They're actually tougher than Questor Soulsworn, but it feels like they can't take a hit.
No wards? Like
nope.
No wards for you?
So yeah, nerfs. Questers up 10. Does this matter? No. Every hero that brought every list went down minimum 20 points. So most lists were 1990 or like even if you're running triple Quester, this makes no difference. So this is the right time to make this change, and this change is it's fine.
If you are bringing one of the other units that we just talked about, it doesn't matter if they...
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. So cool.
I would say it only matters to the I saw some couple lists with like 4 of them. That's about it. Yeah. You might have to switch something out, but that's about it. Well, you just switched to 10.
You switch one to Vanquishers. Yeah, that's it. That's the switch. Yeah. So analysis. How does this change how we build lists? I mean, we're doesn't really, like, everything is just a little bit cheaper. We're already teching in Desolators. We haven't been talking about that publicly, but internally we are starting to use Desolators. So this is just like hard pivoting us into Desolators. We're all going back to Dracoths. And
Nurgle.
Yeah, as long as Nurgle is the top threat.
Luminous.
No,
Nurgle, DOK, Luminous
is also bringing big blocks, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, and Sylvanet sometimes is bringing... these are all infantry-heavy armies. So yeah, it is going to be useful.
Cinch.
Yeah.
Worth noting, Desolators still get the damage bonus against reinforced 5-man cavalry. So like Blood Knights, Dawn Chargers, Dawn Riders, I think from Lumineth, Cavaliers. Yeah, there's lots of units that they can hit that aren't infantry. I really like the Ren 2 on them though. Anti-infantry is really good. Yeah. Are we picking any different battle tactics? Probably not.
No.
Master Restless, still the default pick. Sometimes you go Intercept against Zinch Tech, and then sometimes you go Scouting Force if your list calls for it. But
no, Intercept now become a tech against Zinch.
Yes, it is.
Because now they have to deploy and have the things close to each other if they want to take them out of the board.
So we're basically doing the same thing. We're just leaner and meaner, and we're teching in more damage. So like the unit, this is like if you're not like a deep collector of Stormcast, this part of Battlescrolls probably sucks, where you have to like pivot from one unit to another just for like minor changes. But if you like having big armies and big collections, then it's a lot of fun.
I think that you can still play the old lists without a problem.
Yeah. It's not optimal, but you can. Yeah. Nissan Freak, I missed Bastion. Here, I'll edit it now for posterity.
Yeah. I would say like nothing really changed. I would say the very niche thing that changed. I know David was running Tornus, Knight Relictor, Vanguard long strikes, Vanguard Paladors, and like 2 units of Questers or something, I think that list might like suffer a little bit because Tornus did go down, Bastion did. But if you're running Bastion lists, like literally you could keep running the same list with Vanguard, the double Vanguard, and the 2 Questers on Sworn.
Or Karazai lists, yeah.
Karazai. Yeah, I don't think that the lists change too much.
No. We're just looking forward to killing Nurgle. Like, we're going to be one of the few armies that can kill them, which feels good.
Oh yeah.
Also, Khorne. I don't know sorry, I didn't mention this. Gold Reapers went down, Blood Warriors went down, and those guys were already running 10 Gold Reapers, 4 Blood Warriors.
Look at the happy face of Luis.
Yeah.
And remember, those guys, like Vanguard Paladors were not that great into them with the Star Trek Javelins because of Desolators might be, because Desolators when they turn off your weapon abilities, they also turn off all-out defense for themselves, and Desolators +1 damage is on the War Scroll. It is not on the weapon. So,
same as Vanquishers.
Exactly.
So the Desolators took good into that kind of army.
Now that we're talking about this, Vanquishers seem better and better.
Yeah, I know.
5-inch move.
All the same reasons.
5-inch move,
that's
man.
the other. But you bring them after the other unit.
Yeah, they're like a counter hit unit.
Wave.
Yeah.
My only also problem is there's a lot of the things you want Vanquishers to go into also have a lot of debuff stuff on them. Like ideally I want Vanquishers to go into Cruel Boys, but Cruel Boys have a strike last rampage. I want Vanquishers to go into Khorne, or I want to go Nurgle. Nurgle has a lot of debuffs. I want Vanquishers to go into like blocks of Sylvaneth infantry, but they have to strike first. So it's like Vanquishers like need like a Storm Coven or something in order to be like very useful on the chart sometimes.
But you have the same problem with Desolators and if you
Desolators get around strike first,
on a 3-up.
And you can very easily tech in like 2 concussors or a sigil hero to deny commands. Sigil's definitely going to be worth a second look now that Sylvaneth is in the game, because you can do like sigil, concussors, and lightning echelon, and like Sylvaneth doesn't get to strike first. Sorry guys, I got 3 different chances to strike first here.
I was thinking of the other thing I was thinking of was in those lists where you bring Bastion, you have 3 Quest or Soul Swords, switching one to Storm Coven. Just for that strike first.
Yeah, I mean, now that you can do Primal Energy for 10 points, that's more appealing.
Yeah.
Nissan in the chat, love me some Bastion buffs, think it changes his ranking. I will be doing a updated tier list next week. Look forward to that on the channel. It's already made. We're still debating the finer points. Like, there's a couple of units we're not sure if they're going to be C or D, but Bastion is going to be moving up to A tier with this change. Yeah, he's going to be a very good unit to pick. Okay, so let's talk tier list of all the other armies. We can kind of go over their changes. Yeah, we're doing fine on time. We still got like an hour to go. All right, where do we want to start? Hellsmiths. Let's start there. Potentially the worst army in the game.
I don't know if it's D. I haven't played against them, so
it still feels like a C- or a D to me, personally. I don't think they've gotten significantly better. I think the point changes were to units that were all bad. Like Sentinels are bad for a reason. You have to countercharge with them to get used to their thing. Immolator Engine actually got nerfed in an errata, which is hilarious. So I think they're still going to be a D tier. Maybe they'll surprise. This doesn't mean you can't 4-1. I would love to see a 5-0 with them. You think C?
Yeah, in Adepticon, only one guy went 4-1, but he's only one guy.
Yeah, I think they feel like a D tier, because I think what's going to happen is we're going to put him in C, and then we're going to have all these other armies in C, and we're going to be like, Hellsmiths feel worse than these armies.
Maybe
also
changes.
He also got a little bit lucky. He did not fight an effective health army. Like the last match that he had was Sylvaneth with 8 units of Twistwald. So 16 wounds and a 5-up ward, like each.
Yeah.
He can't get through effective health. His army cannot get through effective health.
Well, Bull Centaurs can, if you bring 2 units of them.
He didn't have any. I don't think he had any.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to stick it in D, and if we want to revisit that later, we can. So let's go Seraphon. They were also one of the worst armies. They probably would have been considered D tier. They have... So if you look at their results page... Can I bring this up? Hold on. This is really... Yeah, where do you guys think Seraphon lands? Because I'm gonna bring up how many 4-1s and 5-0s they've gotten in this season. But yeah, you guys give me your thoughts first, and then I'll bring that up.
For the whole season?
Yes.
Just this last Battlescroll, let's say. This calendar year.
Yeah.
I think they're a very firmly 4-1 army, but they don't have the tools for a 5-0.
Okay. Luis, what do you think of Seraphon?
Yeah, Seraphon is, unfortunately, is still basically Magic, and Magic is being still punished by the Obscuring. So they are struggling against the top meta. So I still seeing Nazi.
Yeah.
Okay. It's worse than what you guys think. So here's the results. It's on stream. This calendar year, Seraphon has had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 results. 7 4-1s. The most recent one was Spawn of Chotek spam. So that's nerfed. Right? The other most recent one is Agrodon Lancer spam, which is not going to do enough. And that was back in February before Nurgle was a big thing. Right?
Yeah.
And then before that, they're all in Seraphon is bad. The stats are really, really poor for them. There's a reason they got huge buffs. I think, at best, they're going to be the bottom of C. I'm going to stick them in D. That's my argument.
Sure.
They're so bad. I don't think giving them 100 points will matter.
Will they be better than Hellsmiths?
No.
Yes? I'm going to say yes, because Croak can always... If Croak gets cheap enough and he gets enough stuff, he can always 4-1, right? No, he can't. Not with Obscuring. Never mind.
Hellsmiths have a litany of debuffs to give to Seraphon.
Bull Centaurs are probably better than everything in the Seraphon Index.
I think Walker's list, which has no Bull Centaurs, it has like 40 of the spear dudes and like a bunch of artillery. I think that could give Seraphon a headache, honestly. Especially if you're spamming units, like they're grouped up together.
Will the point changes affect this?
No.
Points?
No.
Points? I don't think so. Yeah.
Because, like, maybe you'll start to see Solar Bastillodons, but they're still in Obscuring season. The Soggy Carnosaur has been very disappointing. If you look at the stats for it, it does not perform well at all. So I think it's a D-tier army right now, and that's very unfortunate, because in my head, they feel better, but they just don't perform well.
I think the Soggy Carnosaur is performing well, because that's the only War Scroll that's like one of the things that like does damage and has like a lot of cool play around it. It's just that the rest of the army isn't doing anything interesting at all.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me see if I can bring it up.
Like, what are you doing? Increasing the rend on it on the main guy on top? That's it. Like, what are you doing with this army? Like, what is your army doing to help out the Soggy Carnosaur? The answer is nothing.
If you look, I just looked at this the other day. Units.
Yeah.
Yeah, Soggy Carnosaur has a 46% win rate, and that is very variable depending on which enhancements you give it. Because the ones that people usually take, I think I looked at this, it's like a 40% win rate on the usual loadout for it. No, sorry, never mind. No, sorry. Solar Soulbone Carnosaur is not 46, it's 36. My bad. It's a 36% win rate. It's dragging the whole army down.
Is maybe because, as Migrant said, there's no perfect unit to fit with.
I filtered for post Battlescroll. Sorry, I filtered for post Battlescroll. It's down to 29%.
Yeah, except Croc.
What is it? Okay, what is it doing? It's not doing anything. It's just a 4-up save, 14 wound monster with no ward on it.
It does damage.
It does damage, but like so you know what else does damage? A 230 point Terrorgeist.
Yeah.
With a 230 point Terrorgeist, how is this thing ever seeing play? Like in like no, I'm sorry.
It's Seraphon are not good right now, unfortunately. 29%. Jesus Christ.
300 point Carnosaur killed a 230 point Terrorgeist. Yeah, have fun. Like, great.
Yeah.
What are you doing against Nurgle when they, give you -1 to hit and wound? You have nothing for that at all.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so that's Seraphon. What's another really bad army? Gitz? Did Gitz get enough to crawl out of the D tier?
It's just more bodies. They'll always get 3 2s and 4 1s because some people can't deal with effective.
So D tier.
No,
It's
C. That's a C. That's a C already.
C.
All right.
It's just endless
being
trash.
outvoted.
Endless trash with bounders. Yeah, I would say C.
And the Trogots are also good in
Yep.
some matches.
Good
Low
effective,
C though,
yeah.
right? Low C.
C. I'll just say, I don't know. Let's see.
Okay. What's another bad army? Night Haunt was bad, but these buffs were significant. It's hard to know if it's going to tip them back to critical mass.
Off of my buddy Laurent. He's figured out the hack. It's to bring the OBR, Regiment of Renown, in Night Hunt.
Which one?
Siegebreaker.
The
Catapult.
crawler. Yeah, strike last is dope.
Yeah, strike last, and it makes like defensive strike last because you're covering fire and you're on a 3-up, you're getting it.
Yeah.
And it makes people really wary because not only are you striking last, but if they have the blade guy screens up, you need that 7 on the charge.
So like a B tier?
B tier, yeah, I would say B.
I feel like if we give them C, they're going to blast everyone's expectations away and be way better.
Even Madigan has been saying they're a good army, but it's unfortunately a very different army than what people are used to, and it takes a lot of skill to pilot it. So I would say B.
It's a very boring army. It doesn't have any good. It only matters how the amount of stuff that you can bring in the board.
Sure.
Literally
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean, Laurent would kick my ass for saying he'll probably say it's A, but that's because he's a contrarian. But I would say it's a B tier army. In Laurent's hands, it's probably yes, but that's a different story.
The worst book.
It is a very undercooked book. Yeah. They started out strong. They had good ideas, but it just didn't go anywhere.
And
now they're just
up with the change to ethereal.
Yeah.
He makes it work. He knows, like Laurent knows, like y'all should look at his games. He's like a top tier player with this. Like he knows how to position his units. Like I feel like if you play Night On with the old mentality, it's not going to work. But like I've seen some of Madigan's games and I've seen some of Laurent's games, and now that I see how they like to make the army work, it's a good army.
No, it's a good army in terms of win rate, and you can do good stuffs with it. But it's a very bad book.
Yeah,
very bad written book.
I would disagree. I just think the power that isn't obvious. There's a lot more. You have to work harder to get more out of it. It's not bad. It's like Lumineth and DOK and Zinch have to think hard to get into depth into the more exciting parts of the book, but they don't have to work too hard to get the power out. I feel like with Night Haunt, you have to work really hard to leverage the power this army has.
They're like Stormcast. Stormcast we're sweating every game.
Exactly, yeah. Like people look at the army, it's like, oh, it's Elite 3+. You should be playing fast. It's like, no, I need to think double the time of Horde armies because I need to leverage each unit properly. And that's what Night Haunt is doing.
And I have to hit you from the right angle so that when you come back to hit me, it's minimized. Yeah, it's...
Yep.
Yes.
But the thing that I'm saying that it is bad is because the War Scrolls doesn't really make much of a difference between them. So they are playing Blade Guys because it's a very bad ability. Yeah, it's a very bad ability. Not rolling a 7 and failing a charge, it's terrible. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I will say though, they don't have a dedicated hammer. That's a problem. Like the best hammer they have is probably the Scourge Garan, Soggy Coach. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have my Night Hunt stored them. I didn't like it. I tried a couple of times and it's very boring. I don't like the rules.
It's like imagine if you had to leverage 4 different pieces to take anything down in the game. And you have to always be careful of what they might do next. It's like that's
just gonna grind you, and if they don't have, they can't grind you fast enough, you'll just win.
It shouldn't be a grinding army, right? Like it should be spooky, scary, hit you from unexpected angles, do damage, and it's just been a weird grindy army the whole time, and it just doesn't seem to match. Like when I picture fighting ghosts, I don't picture like I'm punching like a regenerating wall. Like that's just a weird way to format the
it's
army.
Technically waves and waves of ghost. I get it, and I mean, but I mean, it speaks to how low their power level is that Laurent thinks he has to bring.
Well, if it's supposed to be waves of ghosts, then do that. Give them resurrecting on every unit and let them be trash units, and they can throw waves upon waves of ghosts at us. But that's not what they do. They throw one unit in that stands there and takes hits and revives models.
Or make a roll for each unit. Maybe the blade guys are the defensive ones, and the other guys have the attack, and they have extra damage or something.
Wait, rolls for units? What? An Age of Sigmar? I don't know. Whatever. Weird.
Whatever. I think they're at least B though. So we'll just
Okay.
In terms of power, they are okay, and they're
Okay.
gonna be okay because they can bring more stuff. This is gonna be a book of points all the time.
Yep.
Okay.
Agree.
Low points,
The
a lot
problem-
of stuff, they are gonna win. High points, they are not gonna bring enough stuff. They're not gonna win.
I feel flat only the rules. The rules you don't need to do nothing, just stay there. So
Mhm.
you cannot avoid in somehow their abilities, and that's the part that make it boring. So there's no way to fight against that. I mean, unfortunately, you cannot deny it, and that's the boring.
Yeah, I agree. Because they have to stay
I will say
within 12 of the
the
cruel gas, within 12 of the terrain piece. So they have to
Yeah.
stay in the bubble with around the heroes and stuff. So they have the mobility, but they cannot really use it. They have
the
to stay
minus to
like in a
control score
castle.
did end up mattering. Like it does end up mattering after rounds 2 and 3.
Oh
so-
yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
If you don't kill them fast enough, you're not gonna win because you're not gonna take the objectives away from them.
Okay. Ogres, they got buffed. Their win rate is good. So it's strange they got buffed, but they don't seem like their win rate is deceptive, I think.
I
Yeah.
agree. Especially with
Yeah,
with
I
this
feel like
many changes and
Ogres
this
is still leveraging Kragnos too much.
Mhm.
They just
Do
need a book. But
Do they go
they're-
4-1 or win a lot? Like, I'm not that familiar.
If it's Carson Whitlock, he will go 5-0 with them. But
Okay.
that's the only army. That's the only army he plays. Otherwise,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I would
very
say they're like 4-1. I would say because the thing is like they have that thing where Iron Guts and Man Eaters. Like, you know, sometimes how like in the first 2 rounds you meet people who like don't ask you a lot of questions in your army.
Yeah.
And then Ogres is one of those armies that like you'll suddenly get very surprised at how hard Iron Guts hit people. Because
Yeah.
they'll fight twice or whatever. So that alone I think is good enough for a 3-2, 4-1.
So they're better than Seraphon and Hellsmiths, but not that much better.
I would
Yeah.
I would say they're operating at the same level almost as Slaves to Darkness. In a
So Slaves is also a C tier army.
No, I would say they're both B. Because they can leverage high amounts of health and high amounts of damage really well, which is good enough to get you a 3-2 to a 4-1 with some luck. But against when you get to that round 5 and then armies with actual tricks start playing into you, that's when you have problems.
So in the last 4 months, Ogres have podiumed 12 times. 2 of them were 5-0s, and they haven't 5-0'd since Nurgle came out.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a solid 4-1 army. They can't beat Nurgle, unfortunately.
12
They don't have the
4-1s
damage
is
Really?
not a
I
lot.
think they have a pretty decent output.
Yeah. No, but like against Nurgle, when they're hitting on 5s, winning on 3s, they're not doing anything. That's what's preventing the 5-0.
We have a
Hmm.
we have a friend here that plays them a lot, and he doesn't care about -1 to hits. He always roll 5s. He always wipes my Lumineth. And he always
that
deals
also happens.
15 damage with the Iron Blaster, and I was like, oh my god, what the hell?
But also, like, their competition in that same arena now is Flesh Eater Courts, right? Flesh Eater
Mm.
Courts is setting the bar for like a fast, high damage army. So like that's what pushes armies like Slaves to Darkness and like Ogre Mar tribes down. That's what pushes Iron Just down. That's the problem.
Yep.
So
Okay.
Ogres are winning about 20% of the time they get 4-1 or better,
Bad.
Yep.
which is great. That's actually
Okay,
really
good.
good.
Yeah, that's B.
Slaves to Darkness do that less than half the time. 9% of Slaves players go 4 or better. So I think there's an argument for Slaves to be C tier.
Is that a player issue or is that an army issue though?
Mm,
Because Slaves to Darkness is the most popular, I think, among newbies because they like the armored dudes. You know, it's like
Yeah,
Chaos Space Marine.
That's
dudes.
exactly.
Yeah, and it's also like it's one of the best go forward and kick the other guy army.
I think it's a
Yeah.
stat check that doesn't. There's better stat check armies now. Nurgle is the stat check army to beat. Flesh Eaters with monster spam is the stat check army to beat.
Sure, but if you look at like Adepticon, like I know Ace, it was Scooter. I think it was Daniel Patterson, who's like a St. Louis local. Like I know him.
He won 1-4.
He also got 4-1. Yeah, and they're running like Be'lakor is back, baby. Like like all these
Hmm.
monsters are back that can't be obscured. Be'lakor is back.
Hmm.
So Belcor's back, 10 Chosen, Chaos Lord, Varangard, minimum Varangard, not even Green Forest Varangard, minimum Chaos Knights, Chaos Furies, Chaos Lord on Mount. Like, it works. Like, if it works, it works. You know,
Hmm.
I can't
Yeah.
complain about it.
Also, the ratio between elite players from Slate to Darkness against newbies is only the 60%
Hmm.
against
It's
newbies.
Stormcast.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Hmm.
Stormcast effect. People really
Okay.
like this army because of the way it looks, and newbies will buy it.
I am certainly biased because the armies I play have very good matchups into slaves. So
Yeah.
okay, I'll take your guys' word for it. We'll keep them in B tier. I went ahead and threw Nurgle in S because it's still
Yes.
I agree.
it's the army to beat, right? And Flesh Eaters,
If
they would
Raymond
have
was
been.
here, he would say the same thing.
I think Flesh Eaters has been knocked out of S, and they're going to go down to A. I don't think it's overpowered anymore. I think it is running the meta, but it's not overpowered.
I'll agree with you, but I'll wait and see. Yeah. Like,
Okay.
it's like I don't have any complaints about that rating. So yeah.
All right.
Can we do Lumineth afterwards? So
Yeah, let's talk Lumineth. So I,
Let's fight
if
about
I
it.
had, okay, so
I think that Paul and I will agree, but everybody else will not.
I'm just fine. I'll say it. It's a B plus. It's
No.
A minus or B plus. I don't even think it cracks A. Honestly,
I think
honestly
it's
and truly, I think it's low A or B plus. I don't think it's on the same tier as Flesh Eaters even. So like I don't think it should be A.
To be
I
honest,
just think that
since-
people hasn't got used to the rules yet. But you can see that in Adepticon they did very bad, very bad.
Yes. And they,
Two was the
especially
highest.
if Nurgle is S, Lumineth will really struggle. That is for
Yes.
sure the
It's
case.
a very bad matchup.
And Zinch is a bad matchup too.
Yeah, you
Siege
don't have
for
no-
Lumineth?
Yes.
Depending on the list.
Yeah. They can't cut through enough
Depending on
horrors
how good the player is.
or Zangors, and they can't really do anything about the Skyfires coming, or not the Skyfires, the Enlightened coming in and just murdering everything. Like they just
Well, the
Enlightened
want
do
to hit
ridiculous
them
damage.
really badly.
Well, I
Nah.
mean, I've seen AK. There's a Andrew Chorus. He's a player. Like popping the -2 to charge bubble sometimes helps. There's also some weird tricks
Against
you can do where it's, like,
3-inch
not-
charges? I don't think so.
I mean, sure, but it's like sometimes they'll also do tricks like move Severeth up and then use Severeth and a power through to get Eltarion in position to kill Kairos. And that makes the game a lot easier.
Oh, they don't need
doesn't
Kairos
die.
alive. Kairos,
It's
for,
not
yeah,
a guaranteed kill.
yeah, it's not a guaranteed kill, and also
You have
It
to
do-
support
it's-
it with something.
it's not even that good of a play. Like we've run that exact scenario. If James was on the stream, he could tell you it's not the end of the game if Severeth Light kills Kairos. It's really not. Kairos is there to make everything more reliable and efficient, but he's not the centerpiece that wins you the game.
No, that's fair. And like if you look at Adepticon, Lumina didn't go better than 3-2. I think
Yeah.
FEC, Nurgle, and Zinch are too much of a challenge for them, for sure.
Stormcast is also
good book.
just doing what Lumineth does, but better.
You're
Okay.
gonna be hard to catch. You're gonna have a hard time catching Stormcast for sure.
Yeah, and it's so close. It's like a 2-inch threat range difference, and but that's all you need. Like if you have the speed advantage, it's a totally different game. So like against most armies, Lumineth will play like a worse version of Stormcast, and then against Stormcast, it'll struggle because they're doing the same thing but better.
They are
I
good.
think it's
They are
also
not a bad
drops.
army at
I
all.
see. Yeah, most Lumineth lists that I'm seeing are 3 drops, and that'll really hurt them because
Mhm.
doubles are not something they're built for. So if they get doubled from a damage army, I think they just get wrecked.
Neither alpha strikes.
Yeah.
In some matches, you cannot stop them from charging you in turn 1, and you're gonna get whacked.
Yeah, their units are all low volume and high cost,
Mhm.
so they
No return.
struggle into stat check armies for sure. So
Yeah. I mean, James Gillett just said they're like 30 average higher elo than the next higher army. Like, yeah, it's a skill intensive army, but also like what's dominating the meta right now in terms of FEC, Nurgle, just high health, high effectiveness, high speed, high damage. Generally, they struggle into. Lumineth need time to get their engine going, and like time is not something they might have.
yeah, a lot of people will just be filtered out by the rules being so complicated, and also a lot of people don't like the aesthetic. It's like a niche thing. The people who like Lumineth really like Lumineth, and they tend to be more tactical players,
Mhm.
right? They're not like the Slaves of Darkness players who just want to like their dads on the weekend who want to throw dice and have fun. Like Lumineth players are trying to win the game.
Yeah, the true high elf likers.
Yes. So yeah, I think Lumineth are like a B plus right now. In the right meta, they could be an A, but I think Nurgle is too prominent for them to be an A right now. That's my take.
Yeah, A minus. A minus.
Yeah.
That's a B plus.
B plus, A minus. Like maybe we just need a tier for that. Maybe we can just add a tier. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get smacked in the comments.
A minus, B plus, somewhere like that.
But okay.
Just one tier exclusive for Lumineth.
And then we have, there we go.
I have to go, guys. But
all right.
thanks a lot. See you guys.
See you, dude. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thanks.
See you.
Okay, there we go. Somewhere in the between.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll figure out the colors later.
Sure.
Okay. So, Sons of Behemoth. C or D? Or did they change the points enough that they can take like some crazy regiment of renown and dominate the game? Because that's one of the two things that happens. Either nothing happens or they become overpowered.
It's a Timmy army. It's like you'll encounter the Suns player who just hit all their hit rolls on Gatebreakers or hit the 4-up 46 mortal wounds every single time. Like this actually happened. I was playing in the doubles and our last game, this guy did the 4-up 46 to me 3 times in a row. Like, every time he did. So like sometimes that just wins you the game. Like that just happens.
They can take Kragnos and Big Pigs. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes they get enough points that they can take stupid regiments of renown.
So, but they're not even playing game. That's not playing the Gargants though. They're just playing half the Ironjaws and Kragnos.
It's under the Gargants banner.
Yeah, whatever. It's not Gargants though. It's Kragnos.
I agree.
I mean, Rob was playing that. Rob was playing that army against us at Bruce.
With Cruel Boys, yeah. Or no, with Ironjaws, yeah. Yeah, okay. Whatever. C tier. Okay, I think we've got all the Ironjaws. We're talking bad army, so Ironjaws. Like a C or...
Actually... I think Ironjaws has to be a low B. It has to be right next to Slaves, I think.
Really?
Yeah, like, Rob can make them work, right? Like, we clearly saw that the army has teeth when it comes to, if you know what you're doing in terms of movement.
That was before the days of -1/-1 and no weapon abilities, though. The damage of this army has fallen off a cliff.
Wait, what do you mean? What did they care about weapon abilities for? I mean, sure, Gorgarnters care. Sure, Gorgarnters are the only ones that care. But, like, Brutes don't care. The Big Pigs don't care.
Still, -1 hit, -1 everywhere, man. It's so prominent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you think the crit 2 helps? Crit 2 to hits on 6, that spell?
They always had that. It just lasts until your next turn, so it works in the enemy turn as well.
Okay. Rob, let us know. I'm inclined to say B, but yeah.
Only because lately in the last 3 weeks in the GTS they have starting to rising the win rate. Exactly what is the reason? Don't know. I need
I'm seeing some 4-1s. I'm seeing some some Maugurta Gougers, some Brutes. Some Kragnos, obviously Kragnos is
okay.
Good.
We can call them B. I'm not impressed with them as a shooting enjoyer, but yeah, their stats are on the rise. That's true. More and more 4-1s. Like every weekend they have a 4-1 now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. We'll give them a B.
It's a stat check army, right? It's a better stat check army than Gargants in my opinion. In some ways.
It's getting cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're a better army than Slaves at that point, then. I'm really down on Slaves, I'm sorry. All right. Is there any other army that's, like, weak? Cruel Boys, I think, are a solid B now. Cruel Boys are a B. Ideneth are a low B? They're not C, right? They still do Shark Spam.
Yeah. That book has a lot of depth. In terms of, like, they can do 2 lists. The lists that I've seen are Shark Spam, and then Rich over in Chicago is running like a Nomardi list, which is actually back. It's like it can actually do well. The problem is Nurgle just kills that army. They can't.
They have no durability, and they don't do enough damage to kill Nurgle. So
Yes.
Mm,
And all of
Fragile.
their resurrection, if you're on a Namarti list and you fight, what is it? The Glotkin? Yeah, it's just over. It's like the game over.
Yeah, the Rodigus. Yeah, he shuts off your resurrection.
Right.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, Nurgle is just suffocating the meta. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Before we get into the new books like Sylvaneth and whatnot, cities, whatever, new book in a month. Who cares, right? It's not really worth ranking them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Okay.
no.
Corn. A minus.
I would say at least A minus. Yeah.
But
Like
the most of
if you look at
the
the results in the last month, it's all 5-0s and 4-1s. There's quite a few in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
yes, it's appearing right now, appearing a little bit more mix of factions, no factions, battle formations. But probably the last 2 or 3 months, the only reason that they are winning is because the Baleful Lords. So
Hmm.
right now, I see it not probably B plus. Mm,
Well, there's I'm looking at a 5-0 list here that was Murder Host. 188
Yes.
wounds. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Baleful
this is
Lord.
the
Also,
last
there's
the
a
last
4-1 list
2
from
weeks.
Daniel Grego.
Yeah,
He just went to
Yeah.
Adepticon 4-1. Look at his list: 40
Gortide.
Blood Warriors, Gortide, Wrathmonger, Skull Reapers, Blood Reavers, just tons of infantry just moving up the board. Crit mortaling you to death.
Yeah.
Extra, yeah.
I
And
think A minus at the least. There's no way they're.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And
A
Blood
minus,
Wrench is
B
so
plus.
good. That rule
Yeah.
change is so good for their like mortal units.
Mhm.
And once all these good Baleful Lord players stop playing Baleful Lords and go into the regular army, I think it's going to rise. I think the win rate's going to go up.
Mm,
There is a lot of Baleful
Yes,
Lords here, my
definitely.
lord.
Yeah.
Yes, it's probably the 80%, 85% of the list are belonging to Baleful Lords.
Yeah. It's a lot. But
Yep.
okay, so let's call it A minus B plus then, because if it's being propped up by Baleful Lords, maybe those players are benefiting from that army of renown and how easy it is to play. Because it's 5
Yeah,
models.
they will
It's
be
simple.
they will be drawn to be rolling.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll stick them in the A minus B plus tier. Fire Slayers. I think Fire Slayers are B. The point changes didn't do enough, and they're struggling into some of these other armies, so I'm going to stick them in B.
Mhm.
Yeah. Caradron also feels like a B to me, but like a higher B, so like a B plus. They got a lot of point buffs. Like Gunhaulers are getting real cheap.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like realistically, if you think about it, the lists that they're building effectively didn't change. All of the good lists that like the one like Victor is running, for instance, it rolls around the same concept. You run 2 into 10 groups of your Vaughn group, either Harpooner, Salvagers in some combo.
Yeah.
Then you take Sky Wardens or Enden Riggers, and you run 2 to 3 of those. You bring a hero like Brock or like an Admiral or an Ender Master. You bring a couple of frigates and maybe a gun hauler if you can fit it. It's good. I think this is this has been turned into a skill plus points army.
There's
it has the movement.
4 people went
It has the
4-1
movement to
with
do
it
anything.
at Adepticon, and they're
Yeah.
all pretty different lists. So I think I want to call this like a. They have really been struggling with the high wound density armies, and -1/-1 is rough.
Yeah.
I think it's B. I think it's B.
I think it's A minus, but only because
A
they can't
minus.
beat FEC and Nurgle. I think they have the tools to go up against most other things because they have insane amounts of speed sometimes and alpha potential.
If Nurgle
Yeah.
got nerfed, I would say KO would go up to A minus, but it just really struggles.
I think they can beat Lumineth though, and I think they can beat Korn. Like they
Yeah.
have the tools for
This-
that job.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why it's
These guys have lived around 3 nerfs continuously, the last 3 Battlescrolls, and they are still feeling good. So Yeah,
Okay,
but
yeah. The recent Battlescroll buffs them. I'm gonna give them A minus. I was kind of on the fence if they would push into there, but I think so. Yeah. Okay, we'll give them the A minus.
Okay.
Soulblight. Where do we think Soulblight is at right now?
Oh, this is
Nobody-
bad. They're probably
Nobody talks about them. It's
so
No.
good or bad.
I
Nobody
thought they
talks
were a
about them.
solid- I thought they were a solid B tier army before this. They did get some nice juicy points cuts to Baronites and Beauregard, I think. Oh no, it's just Beauregard, I think, and like some heroes or whatever. Is it enough? I don't know. I just think like when your entire faction ability is invalidated by Nurgle, I think it's really hard for you to play the game.
They don't do enough damage. Like if Nurgle goes first and gets on the objectives, how does Soulblight push them off?
I don't know. Double fight Beauregard, maybe. That's it.
True Blade spam, Blood Knights.
True Blades came and beat an FEC list, and that's the list they should be beating.
Yeah, there's
FEC
a
Dragon. I've seen that matchup go. The True Blades just lose.
so all their results are using so many True Blades. There's lists that have like 3 or 4 in them. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it means True Blades see a 20-point increase sometime, and that list is dead, right? And right now, I haven't seen that list beat FEC yet. It should. It should be like your Monster Killer versus Gargants matchup, but that's not happening.
It feels like a B tier army to me.
Yeah. I would say
Yeah.
they're close to C. Like, sure,
Yeah.
Beauregard are fighting twice is nice, but how do Beauregard prevent themselves from dying to 40 watts?
They have better results than slaves. I'm just saying, like
I would say because it's like off their heroes. Like I think like what happens is like especially if you take Manfred or something, they surprise the hell out of some people because the redeploy charge thing messes people up, and they generally have like a lot of spells that they can cast because most of their heroes are wizards, not all of them. Radikar has access to Kosargi Knight, so he's good kind of right now.
Yeah, also those guys are one of the armies with a lower quantity of elite players.
Yeah.
so B, low B.
I would say
Bottom,
low B, yeah.
bottom B. Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is, if you look at the tournaments they're winning, it's all very low player tournaments. They're not winning any of these 160 person events or something.
That's a good
Not for a
point.
while.
That's a good point. There is a 5-0 from a 62 player event in February, so that would have been before Nurgle dominated the meta.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was using Neferata and reinforced zombies. Whoa.
Yep.
And Radukar. That's a cool list.
I mean, some lists from early March, just before the Nurgle book, like just after the Nurgle book dropped, like that's funny, 20 Blood Knights, but it's like even that's 4-1. And the thing is, we don't know like what kind of 4-1 it is because the 4-1 could be like I lost early and then went 4-1, or like I lost late.
There is a 50 player 5-0 2 weeks ago. That's pretty good. Doesn't have Vordry. That's surprising. Okay, I think there's an argument for them to be B tier. I don't think they can be lower. All right. Remaining armies. What's the worst one of these? Gosh, we're not ranking cities because it's a new book. So, Slanesh?
Slanesh. Yeah.
A minus?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's better or worse than Khorne, but it's like better than B, worse than the A tier armies. Because all the rest of these are going to be A tier, at least.
I think people just don't play Slanesh enough. They didn't score well at Adepticon at all, but really, they're just waiting on a book.
Yeah.
Right now, it just relies on like fast anteater cavalry and then shooters. That's all it does.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just every battle scroll makes it cheaper, and we always say it's not needed because it's a good army, and I think it's just like people want the book to come out. The people that are playing Slanesh are playing other armies instead right now.
Yes, because they're more exciting because their books are out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. The last time that I faced one Slanesh was against Joshua Bennett, and was really good. I mean, it's a good mechanic. He has good things, but yes, people's getting boring and more excited for the new books.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Zinch, A. Easy A. Not S.
Easy.
I don't think they're S.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're an A tier army. They are not overpowered. They are very strong, and they are a strong consideration, but they don't they don't run the show like Nurgle does. Maybe part of that is because you can't really tech into it. Like how do you tech into Enlightened, charging you 3 inches from reserve? Yeah. How do you deal with that?
Yeah.
Well, also the reason is you don't have people picking up the army and 3 months later going 4-1 at a GT, having never been at a GT before.
Yeah.
Low elo players are just coasting to 4-1s with Nurgle. That's not happening with.
And the new playstyles, especially now that it's been errated, so people have to relearn it again. It takes time to learn how to do those things. I think by the time Tzeentch actually becomes a threat, it'll be with the next general, like, not a threat, it's already a threat, but like it could potentially be overpowered next season when Obscuring goes away, and then everything's on fire because of Flamers. Like, as soon as Obscuring goes away, Flamers are going to be ridiculous. They do so much damage.
Yep, definitely.
So, they're not overpowered. I know that's going to get clipped, and someone's going to be like, look at this idiot. But I think they're good. Strong, but not broken.
Yeah.
Okay, Skaven. I think Skaven are A as well. We always say they're A, and their stats never show it. But when you play a good Skaven player, and you usually do, because they're usually at the top tables, they just feel very good. They feel like a very powerful army.
Yep.
I would agree with you. The real question is, do they have the damage density to deal with the other top 3?
I don't know if they need to.
Deal with...
I think they can outmaneuver them. I think they can waste their time with clan rats. I think the Bell is really tough for some armies to remove. I think the Vermin Lords getting cheaper might open them up as a tech option. Just that mobility on the Shadow guy is so nuts. Because he can do a 3-up retreat and a 4-up teleport, or maybe the other way around. But like, he's so unpredictable, and they're always just bringing stuff back with gnaw holes in the backfield. Like, they have so much mobility. I don't think they beat the other A-tier armies consistently, but they beat everything else.
No.
No.
Yes. I think the data, the quantity of newbies is the double of the elite players.
Yeah, there's a lot of new Skaven players, so their stats never show how good the army actually is.
I think it's partially that. I think they're also really just coasting off. Do you remember that Hellpit Abomination list you fought?
Yeah.
At Ruski?
Yeah.
There's essentially a more spammier version of that that's like making the rounds. I think while I think the army's good, I think it suffers from 2 things. A, right, a lot of new players who play Skaven, especially after they spoil those gutter runners and night runners. B, it's a high skill ceiling army.
Very. High skill floor, too.
Yeah, high skill floor. But the thing is, at C, ultimately it's a jank army. And like Jeremy had this really good talk about why jank armies don't always work, because all of the efficient armies in the game now have access to janky rules like countercasting and redeploy. And I think that really messes up because you can level the playing field with Skaven if you know how to use your CP right against them.
Yeah, it feels like they have exploitable weaknesses in a way that Tzeentch doesn't, you know?
Yes.
Like glaring weaknesses, obvious weaknesses.
Yeah. So I don't personally think they're an A-tier army. I think there are players who are A-tier. It's like Laurent picking up, Nighthaunt and going 4-1 with them, almost a 5-0 with them. But I don't think Skaven itself could be called that.
Would you say A- then?
I'd say top of B.
So like a B+.
Yeah,
sure. Just the win rate for the elite players in Skaven is 71%. Gosh.
But again, I attribute that to the players. If they move on to more interesting armies, like that's how you know, right? Like,
but they don't want to. They want to play Skaven, like we want to play Stormcast.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't see any like repeat names in there either.
Okay, well, if you're saying B and I'm saying A, Luis, do you want to be the tiebreaker?
I will say A.
All right.
Fair. I'll take it.
Okay.
I mean, the best player I know is like a guy called Philip Scogland or something. He likes running Rat Ogres. I think that's.
Morgonk, I'm the best player I know.
Like for Skaven.
Oh no, not for Skaven.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk. We'll talk about Stormcast at the end. Bone Reapers. You guys are finishing up your review, right? I will completely defer to you guys. How strong you think Bone Reapers are right now?
I think they're an A-tier army.
Ooh. Okay.
I don't think they are. I think they have tools to play the game right. This is going to be covered in the review, but I'm going to cut quickly here. A lot of people are going to switch off this army because it doesn't play the way they're used to, like in Bone Reapers. The army list that is winning right now, that is really good, because of how taxing RDP is on reinforced units of Bone Reapers. The only reinforced unit really worth bringing is Triaxes. It's not worth bringing Arkai, and it's not even sometimes worth bringing 10 Cavalos with Xantos because of the amount of resources you have to invest in it in terms of RDP and power through. I think that Leech Cavalos list with the 4 Death Riders and like whatever else in terms like 23 X's or a crawler
That's
or
S.
6 Immortus.
That's a broken list.
That is a broken list. The rest of the army, I think, is just solid A tier. Like, and I think when that build eventually gets nerfed, they will have to switch to playing Honest Warhammer and then choosing how much RDP they spend on their reinforced units. At which point they're just playing a better, like, I don't know, Slaves to Darkness, you could say. Which I think puts them at solid A tier. Like, they have good War Scroll, solid War Scroll, Triaxes are good. Here, you know, but like RDP is just so taxing. It's like essentially if you don't bring Catacross, which a lot of lists won't, if you bring, let's say, Leech Cavalos or Xantos, you get to use RDP 3 times in a battle round, in a whole battle round for a reinforced unit. And that essentially means, okay, you use it on movement, use it on combat, use it defensively. RDP is not going on anything else. You're just playing honest Warhammer with everything else in the army. You know what I mean? So it's like if I told you you play a Stormcast list and Questor Soulsworn, 1 unit of Questor Soulsworn gets like 3 abilities, and the rest of them don't get. Rest of the army doesn't get anything special. Is that good? Is that exciting? It's good enough to get A. The stats are solid, but I don't know other than that.
It's definitely not exciting when it's all abilities you've had before. It's not like they're fun new things that you're spending points on. It's like combinations of stuff you've had before.
And I'll agree with Dan here. Dan's also said, yeah, he played Roush in 4 practice games, and we have no way to beat that list. I agree. Like, the amount of that entire list is obscured, by the way. They have Mortec Guard to reduce the rend on their 3Xs or the Liege Mortec. That thing just touches you with 1 Cavalos, does 2d3 when it comes back. Sometimes 3d3 if the Cavalos is also in combat. We have no way to touch that list. And that's fine. But that list is going to get nerfed because it's not really playing the way OBR, like in the lore, is mentioned. It's playing almost like a very
it's elf. It's like elves. Yeah. Idoneth should play like that.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's a mix of like Idoneth and Sylvaneth, where they have this like shooting core and they have kangaroos just like hitting you and then pulling back.
Yeah. Luis, what do you think about OBR?
Also, OBR is right now is one of the best books that recently, and to me, the people is not playing are probably because they are getting shiny by the Illuminate and other books, but the book is really good. Mike Roche went 5-0 in Adepticon and with a very specialist. So the potential of this army is good. I mean, it's not broken, but it's good. And I feel that they are A.
So it sounds like they have a broken list, right? We can all agree that list is broken and it will be nerfed. My question is, will it be nerfed in the monthly FAQ errata at the end of this month? Because it'll be like new book's out, let's clean up some stuff like they did with Tzeentch, right? They errated Smoke and Mirrors. I don't think that was a balance change. I think that was we want to change the functionality because the book just came out and we don't like this, right? Is it going to be like that with OBR? Or is it going to wait until the General's Handbook comes out? And then, because that'll be a balance change.
Probably General's Handbook. They'll at least run wild another 3 months. But the reality is, their RDP system is meant for MSU, and that army does not have the damage to really do a lot of damage in MSU. So they have to play this ridiculous style where they're playing KG, and the only thing that's reinforced is Triaxes, because it's very efficient when you pour buffs into them. If you think about Morghast Archive, what is it? Like 18 damage a unit, 36 damage for like 500 points. And
9 per model times 4, yeah.
Yeah, and you always need to bring a Gods of the Harvester to get anything, because once they die pretty quick, and there's no real other way to bring them back. And they take up 2 RDP for anything you do. It's
okay. So
I was honest. I was wrong. I was like thinking they were a great unit. I had a talk with like Eli's and like who's like a friend of mine who also played a list very similar to Roush. He just had to quit early for other reasons out of Adepticon. But yeah,
Well, their profile's really good into monsters and like elite type units, right? So you don't bring them to be the anti-horde unit. You bring them to be the like monster or Stormcast killer.
Yeah, especially
that.
I want to highlight the comment from Salsa Default that he's saying that he has played against to Mike Rush, and there's no way to Stormcast defeat that list. So
I view that as
So
a
the
challenge
potential-
personally. Okay, so
But-
if there's a broken list and you think it's going to stick around until the General's Handbook, this army should be S by our ranking system.
I don't know how it would beat Nurgle or any army that can heal back what they're trying to do pretty fast.
exactly.
Like,
But if the
I
only
look at
thing
it
it
as
can't
matchups,
beat is another S tier army,
at least A, like I said, it's very good A tier. If that's the list we're talking about, they're at the top. One of the armies at the top of A. Oh, it's right there with FEC and all those armies.
Yeah.
if the only problem is Nurgle, it sounds like you're describing an S tier army to me. There's an S tier list that's broken that everything else in the game has to adapt to, and the only thing that can beat it is another broken thing that everybody has to adapt to.
So, okay, the
No,
good news is if you have an army that's sufficiently fast and has enough tricks like Zinch and FEC with the dragons, you can beat this army. Like, it's
Okay.
not the most impossible one.
Okay. All right, let's keep it an A, but I'm going to slide it to the top of A.
Sure.
Also going to
Okay.
slide Disciples.
Yeah, like Dan is
Oh.
saying, like, it would struggle into that. I think Dan, like, depending on who gets the turn, I think FEC could beat this. Like, if FEC gives them turn 1, they could sacrifice a dragon, charge in, and as long as some Terrorgeists are rolling 6s, that Mortec Guard, defense, or whatever is not going to matter. You're going to chew through all this entire army pretty easily.
Hmm.
Because once those Cavaliers are dead, they're not coming back. The only thing that comes back in this army are the X's.
Okay, so that's Bone Reapers. Sylvaneth. I have started doing the initial review, and my first impressions, they're going to be an A- B+ kind of army. I think
Okay.
they've taken a lot of point increases since their previous index, and the amount of stuff that they're going to bring to the table, their stuff is good. It's very good. Spite Riders and Colonel Societies are some of the best units ever made in this game. They're incredibly strong, but those are just 2 units, maybe 3 units in a list. And the rest of the list is pretty sparse. Also, if there's any, like, if you're playing fair Warhammer, they're broken, like S tier, because I don't know how you get through it. But we're not playing fair Warhammer. We're playing, teleport, strike first, strike last, cheating Warhammer. And there's a lot of ways to shut off wards. There's a lot of ways to shut off commands, increasingly more. There's a lot of ways to deny setup. There's a lot of ways to... There's just a lot of counterplay available against what Sylvaneth are doing. And so, like, they will just trounce people who aren't prepared for it, but they will struggle into the top tier armies. Their volume is good, so their Nurgle matchup is decent. They have ward hate. So yeah, their Nurgle matchup is decent. They have the mobility, the damage, the healing. They can get through Nurgle, but they're going to struggle with things like Flesh Eater Courts, Skaven. I think they're going to struggle with Stormcast, depending on how the obscuring thing works out. Yeah, so I think they're very slow as well. That's the first time Sylvaneth have ever been a slow army. They lost all their teleports. They have a once per game teleport. Drycha teleports, but she's not worth playing. And Spite Revenant's teleport, and that's it. So otherwise, they're just moving 6 inches and hoping they get a spell off for run and charge.
Well, the buds are fine, right? The buds
12 inches. 12-inch fly. That's not enough. In cheater Warhammer, it's not enough, right? Like in honest Warhammer, that's good. Cheater Warhammer, it's too much. Or it's not enough, I mean.
They have received
especially because all armies have unbinds. Like, we often lack unbinds, but if you have lots of unbinds, you could get rid of that spell, and then their movement.
Yeah, it's speed of Hish, basically. If you cancel speed of Hish, that army doesn't move anywhere, right?
exactly.
They don't have good casting bonuses. I think Alariel and Spellsinger are their only casting bonuses. Lady of Vines only gets a bonus on herself for her spell. So, like, getting the run and charge spell off is not reliable. Getting your, I think it's Prayer for +1 attack or something. No, that's Drycha spell.
Yeah.
+1 wound spell.
Yep.
It feels like you can't bring enough wizards and priests, and then when you do, they're not reliable enough, right? So like
they become 3-drop, and that's a problem. Yeah.
even just in terms of
Especially-
points, you just want to bring stuff. You want to bring units, not heroes.
Exactly. So here, in comparison with the faction pack and this and the new book, we have practically almost identical, no identical, so many abilities that were in the faction pack, but right now we depends on rollings.
Mhm.
So this is a nerf. There is no reliability in this rolling,
Yeah.
especially because now we have some conditionals actions. Like the strike first, you need only to be in combat with only one unit. Previously, the Spite Rider Lancers, they charged, but they doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you were engaged with 1 or 2 or 3. You was only rolling a dice in a 3-up. You was starters. And right now feels like a debuff in the main abilities, especially in board presence. So I feel we are going to struggle against even the A minus. We are going to struggle against those factions.
Yeah. Interestingly, though, Nurgle has a surprisingly good match. Sorry, Sylvaneth has a surprisingly good matchup into Nurgle, which is one of the top armies. So I think they would do well. Like they're poised to take advantage, like to not like hard counter, but like they're a good matchup into the top dog, and then they beat the lower tier armies. It's just like the other higher tier armies they're going to struggle against.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that puts them bottom of A, or then the A minus B plus.
A minus, yeah. Something like that. Whereas Daughters of Cain, I think Daughters of Cain is A tier. The power is very they're buff stacking, but they're reliable buff stacking. They have no recursion, but everything is so cheap that if you just play carefully and use your resources well, it's fine. Like turning 10 Blood Hags into like super blender unit is very easy and reliable, so you don't have to reinforce everything. Marathi is still insanely good, but in a different way that doesn't feel bad to play against. Like we can just kill her with long strikes, just
The army is,
every turn.
The good thing is, despite the buffs, they didn't become elite. It retained all their cheap costs. Even
Yeah.
like 10 Kinnerai Life Takers for 200 points can become very dangerous at like a
Yeah.
quick notice.
Yeah, my complaints about their design is not at all consistent with their power. Like they're very strong. I don't like the design of it, but I can't deny that it's going to be a strong army. Probably better than Flesh Eaters, I think. They're going to be very good. That's my first impression after a week with the rules.
Yeah, the kind of the debuffs and also the buffs, because now even if your hero your special or support hero has been slain, you can pick up their abilities into a new hero. So that's crazy. I mean,
It's fine. It's kind of an undercooked mechanic. I think that's like the weakest part of the design. There's a lot of bad design in that book, and that's like really not exciting. Because the buffs that you pass off are like, oh, they're not that interesting, honestly.
the problem with them is with doctors is the range of the units. The same thing that we discussed at the beginning.
Well, unlike
it's predictable.
It is predictable. Yeah, they don't have any kind of teleporting hammers or anything like that. They don't have charge bonuses like they used to, so it's not like they're going to be doing like a bridge teleport into you or anything. They do have good threat ranges, though, because they can normal move in the movement phase, then they can run and charge. So they're going 18 inches and then charging. So they are fast, but speed is only one factor. Like a fast glass hammer army, that's Slaanesh. We have that. We know it's good, right? Daughters of Cain require buff stacking that Slaanesh doesn't. So I think Daughters of Cain is going to be Slaanesh, but better. That's my that's my quick version of it. Which is, I'm really worried about what Slaanesh is going to be. That's going to be terrifying when they get their book finally.
Yeah, no, Slaanesh is basically Chaos Daughters of Cain. Yeah, so we'll see. What we get. Yeah.
Weird that they keep mirroring each other. Okay, last one, Stormcast. Where do you guys think Stormcast lies on this tier list with the meta and the point changes?
I feel like we could very reliably beat 2 of those A armies. So maybe like A minus B plus, top of A minus B plus, or like just about there. Like we have tools to beat everything in A B plus. We could beat all the B armies, C armies, D armies, obviously.
I think we beat S and A
I
too. I think we beat all
I
these.
don't think
The Cavalos list is a struggle. I have to figure out how to beat that. But everything else here,
Pablo's a struggle. Nurgle's a struggle.
no,
Like-
not anymore. Desolators.
I don't know.
Try
I don't
it.
know about that. Sure. I'll change my mind after I play a couple games, maybe against Raven. How do you think we beat Zinch?
So, especially now that they can't smoke units that just enter play, if we play very carefully and we take pieces off the board, the one thing that I haven't figured out how to reliably deal with is the Enlightened. Covering fire is good, right? That's probably the go-to answer for that because they can't reliably charge into anything that's being covering fire. We have the tools to keep their shards down. Yeah, they're going to get fate points off that, but those fate points aren't turning into Infernal Gateway damage, so that's fine. Everybody's going into Lore of Change already. If we play a careful, tight positioning game, and we bring things like Desolators to deal with the Blue Horrors and the Zangor blocks that some people are using, and we have Long Strike covering fire to deal with the Enlightened, we don't have to kill them, we just have to reduce them to like 3 models, which is not unreasonable to do because they don't have a ward when they come into play from smoke. I guess they could get Shield of Fate, but not always. 60 Vanquishers beat 60 Zangors. Yeah, we have great tools. If you look at these armies, like if you look at the top armies, they're kind of coalescing around infantry. There is Flesh Eater Courts doing monsters, but we have no problems doing monsters, so I'm not worried about that at all, right? A lot of these armies are bringing big blocks of infantry, and we just got the best anti-infantry unit in the game in Desolators. That's being pushed up by these point changes. So we still have our powerful anti-monster units to deal with the Flesh Eaters. We have the mobility tools to deal with Lumineth and Sylvaneth. We have the anti-infantry. That was always the missing piece. It was the, how do we have a functional list while still dealing good damage into Nurgle? And with Desolators, I think we have that piece.
I'm going to need to practice against each. I haven't seen how I would beat this army. Maybe I need to call Eli and be like, hey, I'm going to run some practice.
You have to, yeah. Start practicing because it's doable for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. They have trouble making spawn out of 5 health models.
Yeah, I think we can just leaf blow most of DOK. Like, yeah, it's crazy that anything can turn into a blender, but I think we have the tools generally to beat that army.
Yeah, because like they can be protected from shooting between obscuring and their battle formation. But if they take that battle formation, it's only good against Stormcast. There's no other army that's trying to shoot them right now. Maybe KO. Like they're not.
Maybe. Yeah,
I don't think they'll take that.
KO is running like 12 Sky Wardens or something.
Yeah, and their battle formations are not garbage, so they're actually giving up something by taking that battle formation. Maybe next season, when Obscuring is gone, they might take it, but I think right now they're going to skip that battle formation, so we can just pick them apart and shoot them off the table. Marathi dies in 1 turn every time. Reliably. We're killing Marathi reliably every turn.
We can take Cauldrons off the board pretty easy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Stormcast do well into Daughters, Stormcast do well into Flesh Eaters. Skaven's a hard matchup for us. If it's like a really, really good Skaven player, I think it's a rough. Yeah, Stormcast rates Stormcast highly. No way.
Yeah,
it's yeah. I have a history of overrating them, so that's why I try to temper my expectations. But I'm trying to be as objective as possible.
Another thing, Hiker, I'm just quickly going to say, one of the reasons we rate them highly, like I'm never going to rate them B. Like I'd maximum might argue for A- or B+. Of all the year 1 books, we tend to, as long as the points in the battle scrolls keep up, we tend to do generally pretty well. And it's because like we have solid damage, solid war scrolls, we have teleportations, and like it's a pain for some of the armies to deal with, quite frankly. Like long strikes are really like almost like an S tier unit. Quest of Soulsworn are really good. Like there's not a lot of factions that can say that. They need to keep getting cheaper and cheaper. And while that's kind of true for us, the core of our army, which is solid damage and teleportations, and like things like Prosecutor 3d6 charges, never goes away. So we sort of just keep doing the same thing. And as long as that thing stays efficient, we are always A. Like imagine if Slates of Darkness could teleport and had access to Prosecutor 3d6 charges and 18-inch shooting at -2 rend 2 damage. That's what puts us above that in that A tier category.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between like a player who's just getting into the game playing Stormcast and a professional well, not professional, but competitive Stormcast player. Huge gap. There's a huge gap between those two things. And like when you play against a good Stormcast player, and it's like when you're Lumineth and you're playing against a good Stormcast player, you feel like awful because the Stormcast player is doing what you do, but like 2 inches better, which is exactly enough to just win the game. I still feel like the game is mine to lose whenever I play Stormcast. It's if I screw up, I lose. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's just so weird because there's new people in the game will always try to leverage the Stormcast saves, and that's the worst thing you can do as a Stormcast player. And I think when you fight an experienced Stormcast player who knows what they're doing, you'll see the difference between someone trying to leverage Stormcast as armored dudes and someone who's leveraging them as surgical scalpels.
Yeah, we are the teleport reserve shooting army, and then once we've removed enough stuff from the board, then the 3-up saves matter. But that usually doesn't matter until rounds 3, 4, 5. So like your deployment and your first 2 turns have to be extremely careful and safe and not giving up too many victory points. But when you do it properly and you take just, like a little jab here, a little jab there, and then you go in for the uppercut, and then your opponent is dazed and they can't get through the 3-up saves at that point. That's like the best case scenario, and it happens just all the time. All the time it happens. It's a very satisfying playstyle. Okay, so you're arguing at worst A-.
At worst A-, but that's only because majority of the armies in the A tier will give us a decent spot of trouble.
I see it the other way around. I think we do well into the A tier armies. Like our bad matchup is Skaven, and I got to figure out this Death Rider thing, so I can't comment on that. But like,
I would say for me personally, it's Skaven, OBR, and Tzeentch. I'm pretty sure I could handle DOK. FEC, I hate the fact that they're a 2-drop because if they double me, it's over because they have so much movement. The Terrorgeist move 20 freaking inches, like it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying.
Yeah,
that's literally what lost me. I didn't win priority a single time when I fought that FEC player, like at a GT, like a few weeks ago. Like, and the thing is, like, come on, like 1 priority and I maybe can pull it back, but if they win a double against me, they just wiped out so much of my army. It's just nothing I can do. They roll 2-6. The thing is, like, it's a very swingy army, right? Like, fine, whatever. But they roll 1-6. That's most of my units are between 10 to 15 health. Like, they just kill, half the unit.
So if our bad matchups all got easier, like Fek got easier because they have 1 less unit, which makes a big difference when you talk about like board control, when you talk about what they have to hold back to hold objectives on 6 objective maps. Like, it makes a big difference to have 1 less unit on the field. OBR, I don't know. Nurgle, I think we're one of the better armies into Nurgle. I think we have mobility, range, ward hate, high damage desolators, and these are the same tools that work really well against Tzeentch as well.
I'm going to change my mind later. My first impressions are no.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. Because my worst score has been against Nurgle.
To be fair, Luis, you did fight like the best Nurgle player there is. Like Raymond's like like one of the top tier.
Oh
players.
Yeah. No, but the last time that I faced was to Tom 1, and you can imagine.
You know how you said you have to play perfectly, like you can't make mistakes. If you can't,
pretty much.
Up, there's also the factor of dice. When I say that, I mean like things average out to like a mean, right? But what I mean is, you have to hope things go average almost all the time. You cannot hope. You cannot. If they get lucky on like a couple of key rolls, it's very hard for you to come back. Like Raymond, my game was I'm behind because I'm playing carefully and surgically and trying to take 1 unit out at a time. He rolled like 2 11-inch counter charges with like that counter charge ability. I don't know who has it, Glockton or Rodigus, one of the two. And it's like at that point I felt the game over. Like I have no way to come back from that. Like there's no tricks. I'm playing this careful movement position game, but if you roll 12s and 11s on your counter charge, like what am I supposed to do? Like I cannot account for that without completely giving up the board to you.
It sucks. Yeah. It's like when your opponent gets a save spike off your Ren 2 attacks and you're like, it happens, right? Like that's what loses the game. Yeah.
I'm not even talking about the double turn. It's like an FEC player made some great saves against me. And I'm like, whatever, I can still come back from this. It's like, sure, your Terrorgeist survives and it kills that unit. Whatever, I don't care. I'll get you next turn. that thing from Nurgle just killed me. Like I couldn't do anything after that. Once he was into the core of my army, the game was over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to play in a way that
don't feel-
removes spikes as a possibility, right? Like I'll plan around enemy double turns. I'll assume my enemy's going to win priority and take the double, or force. Like I have to kind of plan for both, right? And it's exhausting playing that way. But what am I trying to say? It's a skill that you can learn, right? Which once you have that skill, Stormcast take advantage of it better than most armies.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Uh,
we are
I can
doubling
agree with
the win rate. Yeah, we can double the win rate against the newbies, but against these kind of armies, Norval I have tried with different lists, and believe me, feels that you made a really small mistake and you are paying so hard.
Yeah. Could I beat a new Nurgle player? Absolutely. I'm saying, what if I fight a Nurgle player who's as skilled as me, if not more, like someone like Raymond? That's what I
Yeah.
don't know. And at
That'd be a
least for
good
all
game.
these armies, I'm assuming some. Yeah, I mean, it was a good game. He's a great player to play
Yeah.
against. Wonderful guy too. Great, love playing against him. Very friendly. But like, if I look at all these SNA tier armies, and I'm like, if I think of certain people, like I look at OBR or Michael Rausch. I see Zeech, I think Caleb Walters, Joe Cryer, Conrad Swanson, who's a local. I see DOK, I see, Gavin Grigar maybe. FEC, I see Joe Cryer or like his buddy, whose name I can't remember. I'm so sorry, Joe. If I see Skaven, I see the player you played at Brewski. It's like, when I look at these people, I'm like, could I beat these armies? And for DOK and Skaven, sure, but for Zeech, OBR, and FEC right now,
I think you got to practice against Siege. I really do. And Nurgle. Well, like once you have Desolators in your list, the Nurgle matchup gets very different because you have the damage to kill a unit with a single cavalry hammer instead of allocating multiple units.
yeah, I'm open to having my mind change.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, this is just my first impressions, but obviously, like I need to get back in the game. I need to do a lot of painting. My God, like my Desolators, like chariots, touched chariots in so long. I need to bring those back.
Okay, Luis, tiebreaker. Where do you think Stormcast lie?
The top of A minus.
The top of A minus. Oh, this is why I don't like making new categories. All right, I've been outvoted. That's the tyranny of democracy in action. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If I'm proven right, Mergonk, I want you to make an apology video for the channel saying that you were wrong and that Paul was right and that Desolators do make a big deal into the Zeech and Nurgle matchups specifically.
Fair. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's locked in. That's on live stream. Okay, so
And
overall,
as a tip,
sorry, go on.
as a tip, I will be in the same video. For example.
Okay, foreshadowing. We'll call it the Paul was right .mp4.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so overall, feeling good about the Battlescroll, I think, right? Nurgle needed more nerfs, but there's 3 months till the new General's Handbook. There's going to be a big rule change. We're in garbage time here, right? Like we're just kind of screwing around, waiting for new rules to come out, and even the next General's Handbook will feel like garbage time because we know there's a big change coming to Age of Sigmar as a whole. So I don't know. It'll be weird. I'm looking forward to the GHB though. I think they usually announce it sometime April or May, right? Like before a new edition.
Mid-May, because it comes out like second, third week of June. So May is when they start spoiling stuff for it. Like they announce it in May, and if there's any war scrolls, we'll start seeing them in the June 1st to whenever the thing is up for.
Yeah. I've heard there's gonna be another round of soggy stuff because people really liked it, and it is a good system. But like, don't get rid of the old stuff. Keep all the old stuff. What's the problem? Keep it all. Let's go wild. Who cares? It's one more year of this edition. Let's get nuts.
Do you like the fact that both studios, 40 years, have been doing this, just releasing like seasonal rules, the things that they're thinking of in the studio, trying it out. Like, I love that. Like,
it's good testing too.
I was excited about
You're never going to get better testing than that.
Yeah.
And it's free. People do it for free. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Battlescroll, how do you guys feel? Good changes, bad changes?
Could have gone harder, but overall decent. They didn't do like giant shakeups where they just killed an army. And they honestly should never do that. I feel like that's just feels bad for the players who play them unless something's like obviously stupidly broken. But like I said, like you know how they used to do these big point swings? Like I can't
minus
remember
40, minus 50.
Minus 50s, yeah. Let's see some of those again. Like obviously, Andros is not seeing play. She didn't see play 320, not at 300, not at 290. Let's do 240. Don't go make us go through 270 to 250. Just like slash it down.
What's the downside? She gets good for 3 months and then you nerf her back. Like,
yeah.
Is she
also,
like
it's one unit? It's not even like you can bring 6 of her. You can only bring 1.
She's unique. Yep, and she does. Yeah, she's not an oppressive type unit. There's some units that are like, if they were spammable, it would be a problem. Like Soggy Cavaliers, those are a problem unit, right?
Yeah.
Yndrost is not one of them.
Do that with other uniques too. I don't care. It's like Gordrak doesn't see play at all. Like he's 340 and he doesn't see play. Okay, drop him by 40. Let's see what happens. You know, just do it.
Yeah. Okay, Luis.
Especially with uniques. People like playing with unique units, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do it.
Luis, what do you think?
I feel that for first time I am really happy with this Battlescroll because they are not killing the funny part of the top armies, and they are getting a little bit of support to the bottom part of the Queen Trade's armies. So that's good. Hopefully they can keep. I am referring to Games Workshop. They can keep this tendency, not an special situation because the Adepticon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what changes they make in the General's Handbook. And then it'll be really interesting to see what balancing changes they make from the next 3 months, right? Because it's going to be a weird period. They're going to have data from one season that'll influence the changes for the next season.
Yeah.
So if they could make big mistakes either way, they could avoid making changes. Like if Nurgle goes unnerfed in the next one, and then they dominate the game for 6 whole months, like from February until August or September or whatever, that people are going to get really upset. People don't tolerate 6 months of the same army being on top. That's too much. Yeah. So they kind of have to make predictive changes. And well, I guess we'll see. We'll find out what happens in the General's Handbook this summer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited to play some Dakota. I've been tired of playing Vanguard Paladins for a while, so switching it up.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm excited that this edition's almost over. This has not been a fun edition to play. This 4th has been pretty weak, honestly.
I want to say though, Dan said like look at FEC all GH. Like here's the thing, Dan. Like I like FEC as an army, but my god, are those models ugly. So it's not even a fun army to look at when you're playing against it. Like it's just like those really bad like Terrorgeist and Bat models. Like the Revenant Draken, it looks so good. I would like to see that on the tabletop, but
yeah.
Yeah,
at least the Nurgle stuff is all new. It's fun to look at for now.
It looks good. The army looks and Raymond's such a great painter. Oh my god, his army looks beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, let's we'll close off the stream here. Thank you everybody for joining us. Like and subscribe and do all that clickbait nonsense, you know. Whatever.
Make all the names.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys staying till the end. So good luck in your tournaments, and we'll see you guys soon. The tier list next week.